Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. Landon Schmidt producing. We're with you for the next 3 hours, and a lot to get into this afternoon as we've got to talk the NBA as the playoffs continue to roll along. Three really interesting games last night, three more games tonight. We had a series come to an end last night as well, so we will talk a lot about what happened last night. We'll preview what is to come later tonight. We'll talk Major League Baseball. We've got a lot of day action this afternoon on a Wednesday. We'll talk some golf. Obviously, all the news that came out yesterday towards the end of our show of NCAA tournament expansion, maybe what could be coming to the NBA in terms of the new lottery system. So a lot to get into today. Also, Memphis basketball adds another recruit out of the transfer portal. This one a local product in Josh Holloway. So a ton to discuss this afternoon. But Brett, how are you this afternoon?
Brian, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Good.
I'm doing good.
Good. How much should the whole incident with Ja Morant affect Josh Holloway?
In what sense do you mean?
Acceptance. He's ours. Pulling for. What?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that really comes down to who you ask. I mean, I think right now
you're a diehard Tiger and Grizzlies fan, but you know that incident, it did set off a series of not flattering things around Ja and the team, all of which may not have been Ja's fault. I just wonder, I mean, would it be any catcalling from the stands directed toward him, anything that negative, or should I don't think it should be.
No.
I think I don't know if we should all hit the amnesia button, but I think we should hit the fresh start button.
Sure. I mean, look, we don't know, exactly what happened. We've heard both sides of the story. Ja Morant says, he was provoked and whatever. Josh Holloway says he was just, playing basketball and Ja approached him and whatever happened. There's two sides of the story. Obviously it got dismissed in court. But I don't think any of that should affect Josh Holloway or how he's perceived or treated as a Memphis Tiger. And it doesn't seem like many people are using that right now. Now that can certainly change when he's in a uniform and is out on the court, but I don't think that should affect. I think the only reason that should be brought up is for people to kind of remember who he is or kind of, hey, this is that guy. It's just kind of a note to throw in there, but I don't think that should have any effect on how people view him or approach him over this next year.
I hope the young guy gets a good fresh start here and produces for his hometown team, for Penny and the Tigers. And you had the key words there. Dismissed by the courts.
Yeah.
Dismissed by the courts. That has to matter, doesn't it?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it was a big story when it happened. I think a lot of people have kind of forgotten about that story. I think when Josh Holloway started being recruited, it was kind of like a lot of people.
Oh yeah, that's the guy. That's him.
Yeah. Well, and really just the story.
That's
itself.
Him. That's been the reaction.
Sure,
today.
but I mean, for me, and I can say this from my point of view, I forgot that even happened. It wasn't even just, hey, this is Josh Holloway, the guy that it happened with. I forgot that story even took place. And so, obviously people are bringing that up to kind of remind each other that this guy is a local guy. He was involved in that. It was a big story when it happened, but I hope it doesn't affect anybody, or Josh Holloway or Ja Morant in the future. Just let that be in the past. And obviously, there are a lot of people that are ready for the Grizzlies to move on from Ja Morant. So maybe they'll be even more in favor of Josh Holloway coming here and be on that side. So it's just one of those stories. But hopefully, we're just talking about what he is on the basketball court and not what happened in the past.
And we hope it's good for the Tigers. All right, I'm open-minded here. I'm going to give you my reservation, and then you tell me why it shouldn't be major.
Okay.
I think I like what Penny is putting together. you don't know till you get out there. You don't know till you get out there in late November and late January and tournament time. You don't know now because it's just such a jigsaw puzzle. Here's my reservation. As the college basketball is going bigger players, this looks like little bitty guards to me. Allay my fears.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this level, when you look at the conference, especially, there are a lot of, kind of smaller teams, smaller players, and it's a very incomplete team. We still don't know what the front court will look like in terms of the bigs. I think with Jaden Reed, who they added on Monday, that's a guy that, 5'10", but I think uses his body extremely well, knows his size. I talked about this on Monday after he committed. A lot of times you see guys who are small and they try to play bigger than their actual size, and that can be a positive in some cases, that can be a negative in some cases. I feel like Jaden Reed really uses his size to his advantage of kind of, I know I'm small, I'm only going to do what I know I can do, and he's kind of tailored his game around that, which I think helps him. Was a guy that was, decently successful on a bad team, we've got to say that, but, did some nice things at Northwestern last year in one of the toughest conferences in all of college basketball. And then obviously today with Josh Holloway, another small guard, but
for a tough coach. He played for a tough-minded coach.
No, he definitely did. And so I think both these guys are going to be able to play their role well in this conference, in the American. And so, I don't think the size should be too big of a factor. I think they're going to add a lot of really, nice sizes around them to kind of, help that case. But I don't think it should be too much of a worry right now.
Bryant, you do. You know the rosters out there in this mad world that we're in college sports, college basketball. You do know the ever-changing roster so much better than I do, and I depend on you for that. All right, I'm going to start with a high hard one. Both of you guys, all of us weigh in. Of the three big changes coming, the big change to the NBA and the tanking rules, which you know what I wanted for tanking. You know what I wanted for the draft.
What's that?
The most simple thing ever. Last goes first.
I think that'd be better than what they're doing.
We go back to how we did it forever, and we don't need ping pong ball night. I know we've had ping pong ball night now seemingly forever, and no, nothing was frozen, and no, there was no chicanery with Patrick Ewing. Move right along. I'm tired of conspiracy. I really am. I'm really tired of conspiracy guy in a lot of things. Next thing for the draft is just if you want to go out there and win 8 games and do that to your town and to your fans, guess what? You're going to get the number 1 pick. Hope that makes you feel better. So, all right, the 3 big issues: what's being done to try to prevent tanking in the NBA, 24-team college football playoff, 76-team NCAA tournament. Of the 3, what's the worst? What's the best? You two.
I would say the worst is the college basketball expansion. The second worst is the draft lottery, and then the least worst, I guess, is the college football expansion.
Landon?
Yeah, I think I agree. I think I agree with that. I think my worst, based on actually what Brian said yesterday about penalizing teams who are actually bad in the NBA, the new tanking rule. I'd say that's worse.
You'd flip those two.
Yeah, I'd flip those two.
Okay. The one I like the most is 24-team college football playoff. I'm not averse to that at all.
That's low.
I'm not as mad about the 76 as most are. I'm not wild about it. I didn't want to go full Bobby Knight, and he proposed seriously long before his career was over. Even he was still coaching at Texas Tech. He wanted to go back to 32 teams. We're not going to do that.
No.
I wanted to eliminate Dayton. We're not going to do that. But in my top story, I'm going to get to why I'm okay by 76. The third and final one, the draft. When I say this, look, it's I want to, and it's my duty to care. You know, the flip thing is, I don't care about that. That doesn't matter to me. Who cares? No, we have to care. We have to care about sports issues. The tank lottery system is the closest thing of I just almost can't care about it. I mean, just let it fall how it falls, and I'm not going to worry about that much. Now I'm going to be interested in ping pong ball night a couple Sunday nights from now because of where the Grizzlies are, but it just doesn't move me like it like it has some. It's just a flatline issue to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that, and I've seen both sides of the draft lottery and kind of what people think about it. Some people think it's going to be great and it's going to fix everything. Some people think it's going to ruin everything. I was listening to a podcast earlier today of some guys breaking it down, and I thought one of them, the way he laid it out, I thought was perfect. He kind of said something along the lines of, if you were just so kind of hell-bent on something has to be done about tanking, then you're happy about this. This ultimately, I think, can fix the tanking. But if you were just kind of, there's not a big issue and, are kind of thinking about ways to just lay out a draft with the worst teams get better through the draft, which is kind of the way drafts are supposed to work, then I don't know if this fixes anything, or it kind of makes things worse. Like Landon said, and we talked about it yesterday, the idea of penalizing the bottom three teams, I guess in theory, if you're just all out on teams are tanking and teams want to be bad, I guess that fixes it, but I really don't think it fixes anything, because I think that Jazz team that ruled everybody out and said everybody's going to be done till the end of the season, they're either just going to delay that until they know we can't be that bad of the bottom three teams and we can't be better than this, or they'll just kind of play the game every other night based on who they're playing. These guys are either going to be out, these guys are either going to play. I think teams are just going to see this and they're just kind of loophole their tank to where it will fit into this kind of flat odds system. I just don't think it works.
Find the crack in the dam.
Absolutely.
Teams are. And your use of delay. This year, whether I'm right or not, let's use the date of everybody kind of kicked off tanking January 20th.
Sure.
Okay? Is that close enough?
Yeah.
All this is going to do is kick it back to after the All-Star break.
Yeah. I mean, teams are going to be able to see that, because whether you like it or not, there are going to be bad teams out there. There are going to be teams that just are not good. It's what life is. And so they're going to see, okay, that's the bottom that we cannot go lower than, and then that's the top of we don't want to be better than that, or we can't be better than that. And so they're just going to find a way where they're not as bad, they're not going to be good enough. And so I really don't think it really fixes anything. And like I said, if we're just trying to we've got to fix something, we've got to do something, then yeah, I would go back to just the worst team picks first. I do think there are some good things from this. I do kind of like a team can't draft number one overall in back-to-back years. I do like that idea. You've seen some other leagues that implement that type of rule. I know Major League Baseball has something similar to that with their draft. But, I think this was Adam Silver that was too overwhelmed by all the pushback about tanking and just tried way too hard to do something to fix it. I think it's going to overcorrect the issue, and we're just going to see even more issues down the road.
And I think he acted in the name of, I have to do something.
Yes, I definitely think
and that's very Manfredian, and that's not good.
No. And usually, we sit here and we talk about, Adam Silver, he'll come up with these ideas and usually they work. Playing, has worked. Some of the other things have really worked.
In-season tournament.
I think, yeah, it's been fun. And so, I think we had, over the last couple of years, have kind of been sitting here of, hey, Adam Silver has done some really good things in terms of implementing things for the league. So I hope we're saying the same thing after a year or so of this, and maybe we're completely wrong, or at least me, maybe I'm completely wrong about this, but just looking at it on paper and kind of thinking about what it could look like over the next couple of years, I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm really excited tomorrow when Keith Smith joins us. I know we'll talk with Rob Fisher later today, get his thoughts on it, but really, really interested on what some other people, that are really connected with the NBA and kind of in the day in, day out, like Rob, like Keith, what they really think about these changes.
I think a big difference for me, my observation of both of them running their leagues, when Manfred, and he usually does, stumble into a bad idea, he keeps digging.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Adam Silver keeps digging.
No.
I think he will change.
I think so. I don't think Adam Silver's a bad commissioner. I think he's a pretty good commissioner. I can't say that about Rob Manfred. I think he's an awful commissioner. So we'll see what it really does.
That I did not take the vow to not run down baseball.
You're pretty good.
I've done better without the vow than if I'd have taken it.
Well, bro, I think it's the
pressure's off.
Well, not even that. I just think I think that next year is going to be a mess, and so I think you're trying to enjoy enjoy it as much as possible, and that's causing you not to complain as much about the higher level management of Major League Baseball.
Here's an example. I said we weren't going to talk about next year, and here we are talking about it. Right now, I've got 6 games up.
Okay.
I've got Seattle at Minnesota, Yankees at Texas, Tampa Bay at Cleveland, Boston at Toronto, Miami at Dodgers, Cubs at San Diego. I have thoroughly enjoyed the day. Now, I'm not watching. I'm not riveted by any of it, but it's there. I like that baseball is always there. The endlessness of it, the box scores, the day in, day out. The thing that most people don't like about it, I run to it. It's not going to be there next year.
No, it's going to be weird. It's going to be very weird. So we're not going to worry about it right now. We're going to try to enjoy the season that we have.
I may love the portal next year more than I ever dreamed I did.
Yeah, I mean, you have something to pay attention to if you don't have baseball.
I want to get this in about the expansion of the tournament. Not for every league. I'm just going to talk about the league I know the most about. Standard contract in the SEC should be this right now going forward for every coach in the league. If you miss the tournament 3 straight years, you're fired, no payout.
Yeah, I don't mind that, especially with all the teams that we'll have involved. I mean,
if you miss it 3 straight years, you fill in whatever name you want to for the 16 SEC jobs. Whatever name you want to fill in. You miss it 3 straight years, keep going, no payout.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the big thing, and I haven't seen many people talk about it, but, what this expanded playoffs is going to mean for coaching contracts and kind of how that's going to change. And it's
bonuses.
Sure. I mean, it's not just going to be the make the tournament.
Well, I made the tournament.
No. It's going to be,
Boy, you know who's going to be the king of that.
Who's that?
G. Willikers Josh.
Well, yes. Josh loves the expanded tournament for sure, but it's definitely different, and we'll certainly talk about it a lot more. We'll talk about it some more later in today's show. But let me set up today's show before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, we'll talk the NBA playoffs as we had 3 games last night, 3 more games tonight. We'll discuss what happened last night, start previewing these matchups tonight, including the Spurs, who won their first round series 4-1. They won it last night in Game 5 over the Trailblazers. 3:45, we'll talk some baseball. Like Brett mentioned, a lot of day baseball going on right now, so we'll talk about some things from last night, but a lot of the action today, later tonight, stories around Major League Baseball. We are officially in the midst of the season. 4 o'clock, John Gowen from Timber Trust. He'll join us. We'll talk golf. We'll make our weekly picks with John. Plenty to get to with him, and hopefully it's a better picking week for me as I had the goose egg last week. So.
At the bagel in New Orleans.
Well, I said it going in. I was not a fan. I don't like picking the team event. So
you don't have to worry about it. It won't be here next year either.
That's right. I'll be the first one to celebrate that leaving the schedule. But we'll do a lot of golf talk at. And I want to.
And I think, thankfully, I was always wrong. That was always the tournament that I had predicted. We're having terrible alligator mauling patron player or some tournament official. And we didn't. But did you see that big boy that crawled across the tee box on Sunday morning early?
No, I missed that.
I mean, it was the king, and he just strolled right across the tee box, and everybody yielded, and he went his merry way.
That is one thing, you got to yield when you see the big boy game.
But what if Big Boy hadn't have been Big Boy, and it was Big Mama, and she thought you were trying to harm little ones?
Yeah, it's a tradition, and not a great tradition every year, seeing those big old gators on the course.
He did. I mean, just kind of came up out of nowhere. You a little bit like, excuse me, and went right out on the tee box.
Good Lord, yeah.
No kidding.
At least we won't have to worry about that anymore. Keep the gators away from everyone on the PGA Tour. We'll talk a lot of golf at 4 o'clock with John Gowen. 4:30, we'll talk more about the NCAA tournament, the expansion. That news coming out yesterday, not official yet, but the NCAA taking the final steps that they need to take to make it official. It sounds like some point in May, mid to late May, they will have the official announcement of the expansion. 4:45, we'll talk big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Rob Fisher. He'll join us from the Grizzlies Television Network. A lot to talk about, Rob. We'll talk some Grizzlies. We'll talk a lot of NBA playoffs, and we'll get his thoughts on the new proposed lottery idea from the commissioner, as all the owners owners, they will vote on that in the next couple of weeks. We'll see if that is official. I heard that it's going to kind of be like a trial run. Like they're going to give, if it does pass through, it's going to be kind of a 3-4 year thing, and then if they don't like it, they can change it. So
I like that. Don't keep digging.
I guess so. But I feel like that kind of opens up the floodgates for kind of some, let's try to tinker with it here. Let's tinker with it there. Just, I don't know. It is definitely weird.
John Hollinger come up with a good idea.
Yes. It just feels like a lot of weird.
He's never had one.
Over the next couple of years with the draft. We'll talk a lot of that at 5 o'clock, 5:30. We'll talk about what's trending. And at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Moe's Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. It's the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Expo. It's going on right now through May 10th. 7 manufacturers are all fighting for your business in the battle of the brands. Hot tubs starting at $34.99 with swim spas starting at just $16,999. If you mention this ad, you'll receive a free cover lift with that spa purchase. So head out there to Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
We are Sportstime, live and local and with you until 6 o'clock. No preemption today. We're with you until 6 o'clock, 3 hours. We want you to be with us at 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. All our guests will join us on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line at 901-360-8255. He's Brian. I'm Brett. Our producer is Landon Schmidt. Hit us up at 901-360-8255. Always live and local from our Family Leisure Studios. In this hour, every day brought to you by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2026 models and always special leasing options. Drive in luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. You can call them at 901-334-9673, but they invite you to stop by the only Lexus dealership in Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, and that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2026 flagship LS500, and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the safe luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day is the latest commitment for the Memphis Tigers. Josh Holloway announced his commitment earlier today after spending the last 2 days on a visit with Memphis. It was Memphis, West Virginia, and Missouri in his top 3, and most recently the visit with Memphis sealed the deal for him to be a Tiger. Originally from Memphis, played at St. George's before ending his career at Oak Hill Academy. After that, got his start in college at Samford, playing for Bucky McMillan 2 years, where he was used primarily off the bench, but in that second year averaged 23 minutes per game in 33 games, made 11 starts for Samford, averaged 7.9 points, 2.7 rebounds, 2.7 assists, and 1.5 steals per game. When Bucky McMillan got the job at Texas A&M, he took a handful of players with him, including Josh Holloway. This season with Texas A&M, only 13.3 minutes, all off the bench, averaged 4.6 points, 1.7 rebounds, 1.8 assists, and 0.8 steals per game. This seems like a guy 6'1", 178 pounds. He's the second point guard that Memphis has now added out of the transfer portal. I don't know if what they view him as a player, but it feels like could be a really nice piece off the bench, kind of to that change of pace guy, the effort that he brings to the court. You saw that 1.5 steals per game the season before last at Samford. It feels like he can give really good energy on the defensive end, can do some really nice things as a playmaker, likes to attack the rim despite his 6'1" frame, can give you a little bit of rebounding as well, averaging about 3 rebounds per game at Samford. So I think a nice addition. This is now the 5th Tiger on next year's roster that is from the city of Memphis. He's now the 10th guy committed to the Tigers next season. So that means 5 spots available. And you got to imagine when you look at this roster right now, the rest of these spots have to be for the bigs. 11th player on this roster for next season. So 4 spots available. Those have got to be bigs. Those got to be the big man rebounding, shot blocking, rim protecting. They had a guy last week from North Alabama, Cornelius Williams, who can fill that role as a rebounder today, hosting a JUCO top 15 JUCO player that is very much a rebounder, shot blocking. So this roster's starting to come together, but now you'll see Penny Hardaway and his staff kind of shift more to the front court with those bigs.
Brian, my top story, this is our chance. This is an opportunity for Memphis, whatever it takes, from the University of Memphis, from the Grizzlies, from Convention and Visitors Bureau, from FedEx, from AutoZone, from a sports authority if we still have one, from the city of Memphis to Shelby County to the Chamber of Commerce. Everybody pull together as one, like we have on some big occasions, and do this. There's going to be a second site other than Dayton. We need to be the host site of that. That will be 12 teams, 12 fan bases, 6 games over 2 days. Is that right?
That's right, yes.
So how many teams is that?
It's it would be
That's 24 teams.
Yeah, 24 teams total, but it'd be 12 at both sides, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We need to be the host for that. Mm-hmm. This can get done. All the cool deal makers, all the whiz kids get together. Memphis needs to be unified and have this done. Marshal every force and be the other site permanently. Mm-hmm. Dayton in the Eastern time zone, Memphis Central time zone. I would imagine they're going to do Tuesday in one place. Do you think they'll do all in one day in one place?
I don't know. Nothing's obviously been finalized, so I've heard people say both. Some people say it's going to be kind of just a full day thing on Tuesday, then Wednesday. Some people are saying it's going to be a 3-and-3 type thing where you get games both days. So I really don't know what it's going to look like.
But it'll be all day basketball somewhere. Dateline, FedEx Forum, Memphis, Tennessee, hosted by the University of Memphis. We need to be that site.
Yeah, no, that would be really cool. I would love to see that happen.
Not top story of the day.
All right, Brett, I got a problem with all the reporting around Brendan Sorsby and this gambling story, because today it was revealed on 3 reporting that sources who have reviewed the betting data told Pete Nakos that dating back to 2022, and putting a pause in that, let's all remember how this was first initially reported. A flurry of bets, just small amounts. You made it sound like this was just a regular average Joe just hanging out with his buddies, just betting on things. Brendan Sorsby placed more than 10,000 wagers and at one point averaged 20 bets per day. Now that makes the story sound a lot different than how it was originally reported earlier this way. That is insane. I know you brought it up yesterday. We talked about how you would go to games and kind of bet on the individual pitches, which I don't think that's crazy. I'll be completely honest. I've gone to golf tournaments where I've followed group and have bet hole by hole. It's fine if you do that on kind of once every now and then. Sounds like this guy was doing it kind of every day, really consumed by it. And again, we talked about those small dollar amounts. I gotta imagine with the NIL money he was making, his small dollar amounts and my small dollar amounts are probably very different. I don't expect him to just be placing $5-10 bets on everything, and that'd be small dollar. Oh, we definitely will. A lot's gonna come out from this, and we'll see what ultimately happens with him. But definitely,
I'm shocked how little privacy you have.
Yeah.
That they can. They can somehow get all your information. I don't have an app. I have never bet 1 cent. Yes, I've done ads for it. I think it's fine if you want to. It's not for me. The last thing I want to do is, at this point in my life, is get in trouble with gambling, get in trouble with Ole Miss. I haven't done it. I'm not going to do it. But I don't know that I would want something I thought was private just out there for everybody to look at.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I'll leave it with this. John Harden just texted us and said, his gambling made my gambling look like a hobby. And if anybody listens to Happy Hour, you know how much John Harden likes the action.
Right, but I know both of you will. I don't think either one of you are consumed by it.
No, absolutely.
I know you both will.
No.
Now, I do chuckle when I walk in. You've got a Marshall 1 o'clock in the afternoon holiday tournament bet going.
But those might not always be betting on them. I just like some mid-major hoops.
That's true. My not top story. Detroit basketball. They face elimination tonight. Elimination. They're down 3-1. Orlando, Mickey Mouse Town. They can close it out tonight. Mm-hmm. Cleveland at home against Toronto. A 2-2 all-important Game 5 series there. And in Hollywood, the Lakers can send Houston packing. The Rockets have won a lot of basketball the last few years from October to April, and done a lot in April and May, late April and May.
Yeah, it's a big one tonight for Detroit.
This is as must-win as Detroit's had in a long time.
Oh yeah, it's going to be.
It's over.
It's going to be a big story tonight if Orlando closes it out. But we'll see what happens. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. When we return, we'll talk more about Detroit and Orlando and all the other action from the NBA playoffs. Don't go anywhere. We're talking the NBA next on Sports Time.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
A long life is wonderful, but it comes with changes as you age. So when you're ready to change your home, Town Village Audubon Park is the perfect choice. Incredible location, amazing amenities, including a pool, all-inclusive dining, and on-site medical care so you can age in place. Monthly rental with no buy-in lets you make current choices. Apartments include full kitchen, washer and dryer, bi-weekly housekeeping, and all basic utilities. Landscape courtyards make it easy to get sunshine and fresh air. Gated parking keeps you ready to go. And the Town Village Dog Park keeps your fur baby close by your side. Hi, I'm Max. My wife Jean and I moved into Town Village Audubon Park 18 months ago. It's the best decision we ever made. We have made friends here and take part in lots of social activities. It's a comfortable life. So if you're thinking of making a change, come see me and Town Village Audubon Park. I think you'll like it as much as we do. And look, new friends.
Air. We breathe it naturally. Simple, right? Not so fast. The air you breathe could be hazardous to your health. Don't guess. Be sure with a phone call to the Memphis Mold Inspector, the only licensed mold assessor in the Mid-South. Call the Memphis Mold Inspector to check the air quality inside your home and office. Protect babies, pets, new homes, old homes, employees, friends, loved ones, and you. Just call 901-292-7788 for clean air and peace of mind. 901-292-7788 for the Memphis Mold Inspector.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Kohl's has Mother's Day gifts that feel like a treat because moms deserve something nice. Preferably something that doesn't involve snack duty, carpool, or reminding anyone where their shoes are. Make her day with 25% off across the store during Kohl's Friends and Family Sale at KohlsandKohls.com. It's just too bad you can't buy her the one thing she really wants, a nap. Select styles 25% off or ends May 3rd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
The International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, the IFCJ, looks after those in need, particularly in Israel and in Ukraine. Individuals like Esther, an 84-year-old Jewish woman living in Israel. She lives her days in fear with sirens sounding and long stretches spent in a bomb shelter.
She receives no help from others, no food deliveries, no medical care, but because of friends like you, Esther's not alone. Through the fellowship, you are there bringing food, meeting urgent needs, and reminding Jewish people like Esther, you are not forgotten.
In times of fear and uncertainty, your compassion brings hope and help. The IFCJ brings us together to help one another, Christians and Jews. In doing so, you're doing a good deed. The fellowship uses your donations wisely, maximizing on its value to provide comfort to those in need.
Call 888-488-IFCJ right now. That's 888-488-IFCJ, or go to ifcj.org. That's ifcj.org.
Are you ready to rock Mid-South? We got it covered at Gossett Kia on the pike. 2025 Kia K4 LXS, $205 a month. 2026 Kia Sportage Hybrid LX, we got it $297 a month. 2025 Kia Sorento LX, we got it $338 a month. Plus 2027 Kia Telluride S, now $399 a month. All 24-month lease and $39.99 due at signing. And how about 2026 EV9s? They get $12,000 off or 0% available. And you always get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Come see Bobby J and get your new Kia today at Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
T303634, MSRP 25220, Sportage T7271,780, MSRP 31865, Sorrento TG 455356, MSRP 34655, Telluride VGO 24542, MSRP 44380, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance with KFA, excludes tax title license with approved credit, dealer stock only, see dealer for complete details, offer valid through 4/30/26.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. More volume just in the last couple of minutes out here as we check it out live on 40 over here at Wilford and Hollywood as traffic starts to increase at times here in the Midtown area on 240 southbound, trying to get past South Parkway radar. Well, we've got some of that out here as well, especially down I-40 as you head into Fayette County. Hey, the low-cost drive-through vaccine clinic is coming back again on June the 6th at the Shelby County Humane Society. Check out their website. You'll see some animals on there for adoption. MemphisHumane.org. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we've got to talk the NBA. Last night, 3 really interesting games. We talked about how kind of intriguing they were going to be leading up to them last night. But yeah, the 76ers and the Celtics, Hawks, Knicks, Trailblazers, and Spurs. Let's talk first about that Hawks-Knicks game from last night. Tied 2-2. We talked so much yesterday about how important last night's game was. Whoever won obviously has the advantage and has the edge moving forward. And it was all Knicks last night. 126-97. New York was locked in from the opening tip. And really, when you're going to get that type of performance from Jalen Brunson, it's going to be hard for a lot of teams to slow that down.
39 points, extending his own franchise record for 40-point playoff games. I don't know what that really means. Jalen Brunson scored 39 points, nearly extending his own franchise record, nearly. And I am so tired of every time he has one of those big games, greatest Nick ever. Then when he loses, can't win with a small player.
Yep. It's
can't win at all with a small player.
Yep, and it's got to be one or the other.
Which
crazy.
one is it? He is a great player, but he is. It's neither.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. But he is not the greatest Nick ever.
No, nowhere close. But being in that market,
arguably, is he better than Carmelo Anthony? I say no.
I would say no.
As a Nick, as a Nick.
I love Melo. I would say.
Me too.
I'd say no.
50-win team in 2013.
Yeah,
Carmelo with that.
That's exactly right.
With Mike Woodson as head coach.
Yikes. Yeah. But, I mean, he is a really good player. I think everyone can agree that Jalen Brunson is a really, really good player. And when he's giving you games like that and you can get, other guys to pitch in like they did last night, it's going to be hard to slow this Knicks team down.
It is, and that gives them the advantage. Atlanta's going to towel wave and get all up for Game 6, but back to the Garden for a Game 7, or they win it by then. Mm-hmm. And this should free up the Knicks, shouldn't they? Shouldn't they play a little less, I won't say tight, but not real loose so far?
No, it hadn't.
Guarded.
Yeah, I mean, you see how the series started where, it was, you got the win in Game 1, but then it was back-to-back losses. And, again, because of that market, because of who they are, it became the biggest headline of what happens if the Knicks get eliminated in the first round by the Atlanta Hawks. And so, if they can come back, rally back, and win the series, whether it is in Game 6 or Game 7, I think you feel a lot better than that. Now, obviously, with
saves
New York,
face.
Sure, it does, but at the same time, we're still talking about New York. No matter what happens, when they lose, it's going to be a headline, it's going to be a big story, and there are going to be a lot of hot takes around it.
Look, it's one thing in the next round to lose to the Boston Celtics.
Sure.
To lose in the opening round as the 3 seed against the Hawks, then why fire Thibodeau? All the whys and finger pointing would start. I don't think the Knicks. All right, Jalen Brunson, he is Batman, isn't he?
Yeah, for their team, absolutely.
Who's their Robin? Do they have one?
That's
most
a really good question.
Most would say KAT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's who you turn to. I'm not a huge Cat fan. I'm kind of biased in that sense. I don't really love him in terms of team basketball, but you know, he's a good player, and so I guess I would say he's the Robin. But yeah, I mean they got a lot of pieces, and you know, I'd probably say he's the Robin in that.
Good friend of mine that knows basketball. He texts me. He said the great John Starks may be better, Nick, than Bronson. He may have been. Former Memphis Rocker John Starks, no less, who got the whole team kicked out of Halifax, Nova Scotia to never come back. Great story.
I'm going to have to hear that story. That is insane. But, yeah, no, he definitely could be. And so, yeah, I mean, it's completely different story if it's an exit against Boston or an exit against the Hawks. Now, I do think there's still going to be a lot of fiery takes and questions about this team, especially if Boston makes it look kind of easy in the second round. But I do think getting out of the first round saves face on a lot of things, makes things look better. I just don't think this Knicks team is anywhere near a go-for-it team right now. So we'll see if they make any moves or any changes in the offseason, especially after what they did last year. I mean, being so fast to fire their head coach after being in these conference finals, you got to imagine they'll make some more moves this offseason.
I got caught up in it. Picked them to go to the finals to lose to Denver. Going to miss on both of those badly. But both still potentially could be out in the first round.
Yeah, and we'll see obviously what happens with Nuggets and Timberwolves. You know, looking better with all those injuries for Minnesota, but
that's the only reason it's looking better.
Yeah, it's exactly
but you take it as you get it.
Sure. I mean, yeah, when you're missing a guy like Ant out there, you know, that certainly makes a difference. But looking at those other two games from last night, 76ers, they get another win over Boston, making that series 3-2 as it will
Not
head
just
back
any win, on the parquet.
That's right. Yeah, no, that's exactly right.
And I want to ask Keith this tomorrow. Be sure and ask him. I'm afraid of what this can put in the Celtics' head going forward. That if on the parquet at TD, if it's not automatic, can you really win it all?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And last night you get Joel Embiid back, and he looks like the MVP caliber player that he is with 33 points, and added 8 assists to that. So he looked good, but still looked like he's nowhere near 100%. So I think getting him back was a huge spark.
It was
for the
all
76ers
Philly
team. Yeah, it was. There's no question about it. I mean, you look at that starting lineup and what they were able to produce, and then you get a really nice performance from Quentin Grimes. But how much of that was, hey, Joel Embiid's back, it's such a big spark for the 76ers and such a big change for the Celtics. How much of it was that, and how much of it was maybe a bigger issue for Boston?
And I felt for our friends at Channel 5 last night, trying to carry the games, but also trying to help people with the weather. And this is back-to-back Aprils that I've needed them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Because it was bad last night.
Yeah, no, I don't remember what I guess it must have been the basketball that I was watching. It flipped over to it, and I saw it was right over you at the time, and I was like, oh man.
I mean center cut.
All right, yeah, no, you got all of it. So yeah, you've kind of been in that path the last
6 inches of rain in about 45 minutes.
Wow. That is no joke. That is all, getting all the rain out there.
I was out there flagging down Noah.
No, jeez. I mean,
he kept on going by.
Well, yeah, it's only 2 of each animal, right? No room for you. But tonight, 3 games. Magic Pistons get us started 6 o'clock.
Got an interesting question about that. If it happened again, I heard this on late night crazy radio last night.
Okay.
If we had another look, Noah's Ark was real.
Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah.
If it happened again, and that few people get on the boat, how long would it take to repopulate the world?
That's a great question. I don't know. A long time. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's what I spent doing last night.
You were listening to crazy radio last night.
That's why I'm tired of conspiracy.
I was wondering because you came in strong with that earlier, but that makes a lot more sense. All the dots are connecting now for me.
Last game, Spurs eliminate the Trailblazers. Do we know that Thiago Splitter will not return?
I mean, all the writing on the wall, I mean, everything's kind of pointing in that direction. I saw something.
Because I got odds today on the next Portland coach.
Yes, I would love to hear these.
I don't know that I saved the email. I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay. But it's probably not going to be a huge name with the amount of money that they're throwing around up there in Portland. It's they're working on on pretty
Somebody
pennies.
will take it.
No, somebody will take it. But man, it is a weird situation. But yeah, it looks
the coaching
like
fraternity's telling people don't do this, don't undercut us.
No, I mean it's going to be a really.
It's
really
why
weird
on all these
happens.
hometown discounts, that Players Association, they're telling those members, and they're having other players call and go, hometown discount cuts into the next deal for everybody.
That's right. No, that's exactly right. And so it's just a really weird situation up there. But now that they're eliminated, they'll start trying to figure out who that next head coach will be. Doesn't look like it will be Tiago Splitter, but obviously the interim, his name will be a factor in there. 3 games tonight, though. 6 o'clock on Prime Video, Magic, Pistons, Orlando, the opportunity to close out that series on the road in Detroit tonight. 6:30 on ESPN, Raptors and Cavs. That series tied 2 apiece tonight in Cleveland. And then the late night game, Rockets and Lakers. The Lakers, they look to close out that series at home. They're a 4.5-point favorite tonight at home. I don't believe Kevin Durant will be playing again for the Rockets, so maybe an opportunity here for Los Angeles.
It's going to be my big number of the day concerning Kevin Durant. I mean, this was going to be the playoffs, where in playoff point totals, he was going to zoom past an elite group and can't play.
Just hadn't been out there. This injury has really affected him and has really affected the Rockets. So should be 3 fun games tonight. Maybe we will have a pair of teams advancing to the next round. But we need to get to another break. And when we return, we'll talk some Major League Baseballs. We've got a lot of day action. Some more games coming up later tonight. We'll discuss it all next on Sports Time.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
This Mother's Day, the perfect gift is from Gould's. Choose the Mom's Escape package, which includes a shampoo and blowout with style, signature facial, relaxation massage, and a free Babor face serum while supplies last. Or buy Mom a $100 gift card and get $10 off. Offers good through May 10th at any Gould's location. Gould's is always the perfect gift for Mother's Day, with salon and spa services as well as the best hair and skincare products. Gould's Salon Spa, a legacy of style, care, and community since 1932. Happy Mother's Day from Gould's.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With over 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
If you want to make money in sales, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. If you can sell, Flynn Broadcasting has a great career waiting for you. If you can sell, we have great benefits, salary, commission, sales leads, and a great place to work. If you can sell, let us know today. Send your resume to jobs@flynn.com. Can everyone sell? No. But if you can, Flynn Broadcasting wants you. Apply today at jobs@flynn.com. Start your great career today at jobs@flynn.com. Flynn Broadcasting wants you.
Volkswagen Driver Days is going strong, and Gossett Volkswagen's got you covered on the pike. Get out here right now and get sporty 2026 Jetta S. We Gossett now just $249 a month. $249 a month for Jetta S. How about 2026 Tiguan S? We Gossett $269 a month. Yes, $269 a month for Tiguan S. And if you're looking for performance, style, and technology, look no further than 2026 Atlas SE. We Gossett at $319 a month. Or get 0% for 60 months available. You ready for a new ride? Well, we got you covered at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike, 1875 Covington Pike, or online, GossettVWMemphis.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month lease, Jetta TM 005137, MSRP 25820, Tiguan TMO 14510, MSRP 32585, Atlas TC 515,398, MSRP 41841, includes all rebates and incentives, must be financed through Volkswagen Credit PF 895, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month, dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
A lot of Major League Baseball this afternoon. As being a Wednesday, we've got a lot of day action. A couple of finals already in the books. White Sox with a 3-2 win over the Angels. They needed extra innings in that game, went to 10. White Sox ultimately walked it off. A handful of games that are in action right now. One of them, though, that's really interesting, the Marlins and the Dodgers. Right now, the Marlins up 2-1. The Marlins have led in all three of the games so far this series. They got the win last night, lost the game the night before. This Dodger team already this season has 16 comeback wins. So they're able to, they're going down early, but because of all that power they have, they're finding ways to come back and find ways to win.
Okay, I'm in the elevator on Sunday morning, younger guys, and I could hear them before we got on it talking about greatest players of all time. Then they engaged me. They said, who's the greatest player of all time? Without blinking, I said, Babe Ruth. They said, who's second best? I said, Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, what he's doing is remarkable. I mean, we talk about it all the time. You know, what he brings to the table, both on the mound and at bat. I mean, it's
Who else
hard
has done it?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue that.
And this is starting to be prolonged.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really good. I mean, we talked about it about a week or so ago. You know, from everything that's been reported, the Dodgers, I mean, gave him an opportunity to maybe not just be a bat for them, but be a bat and then just kind of pitch whenever we kind of need you to pitch. We'll kind of have you on call. And he said, no, I'm going to be a kind of full-time pitcher. I want to go out there and have the full workload. And he's managed it extremely well.
Now, baseball gave him a little bit of a special carve-out on how they can use him. Sure. But why not when you have this big a star?
Well, and it's such a, unique type of thing that, I mean, it's hard to, what are you going to do? I mean, I guess it is special for him, but, I mean, what are you supposed to do? I mean, he's a full-time pitcher and a full-time bat for them. I didn't mind giving them that extra spot because
will we see more guys like him try to do both?
Yeah, I think you're seeing it more and more. There have always kind of been guys that have done both, through high school.
Caglione did it, Florida.
Yeah, but it usually gets kind of
party ends.
Yeah, it ends somewhere in the minors. So yeah, I mean, I think
a lot of times it ends in T-ball.
Sure, but
you're a right fielder,
right?
But no, maybe I can pitch too.
Sure.
Nope, you're a right fielder.
Yeah,
and we sure do it with sports. You're baseball. I want to play all of them. Nope, can't do that.
Well, now it's really hard with these sports with how kind of year round they are. It's hard to really play multiple sports. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's opening the door for, people to be more open to it. Even, like you say, kind of at those lower levels in, middle school and high school where maybe those, coaches and people are kind of trying to pinpoint you as one or the other. I think, maybe it's letting people become more open to the idea and giving more people an opportunity.
Yeah, but he's that special, and he's gonna create more trying it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he definitely will. And I think people see that and they want to go out there and do it. So he got the start last night for the Dodgers. 5 hits, 2 runs, only one of those runs, an earned run, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts for him. He did get the loss, though. I mentioned the Marlins winning that game last night. So now 1-1 on the season through about 5 starts, and pretty good ERA so far, .60 ERA through 5 games. So that's pretty elite right there.
Cleveland in handshake mode just went final 3-1 over Tampa Bay. Both took pretty good teams, well managed teams. Kevin Cash is the senior manager across both leagues.
Is that right?
In seniority.
Interesting.
Hired in 2014 by the Rays. That's number 1 across baseball, number 1 in the American League. Dave Roberts, number 1 in the National League, hired the next year in 2015.
Wow, interesting. I did not know that. That is news to me. But
Ollie Marmol was and still is. I mean, he's 3rd in seniority in the National League. Carlos Mendoza now 4th, and that is teetering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Craig Counsell 5th with the Cubs. He hadn't been with the Cubs that long. Pat Murphy 6th. American League, Kevin Cash 1, Aaron Boone, famous middle name 2. A.J. Hinch with Detroit 3. Mark Kotsay with Homeless A's is 4 in the AL.
It's hard to believe, but
it really is.
That kind of shows you how short some of these leashes are on
almost becoming how hockey treats the head coach.
Yeah, it really is. But there's some other scores out there. Seattle up 5-3 right now. They scored 3 in the top of the 9th inning, so they're looking to close out that game and get a win over the Twins. Rangers up 3-0 over the Yankees. Blue Jays up 7-1 over the Red Sox. I mentioned Marlins, Dodgers, and as we were talking about them being down to the Marlins, they have scored a run to make that 2-2, and then Cubs up 1-0 over the Padres. So a lot of action going on right now. A handful of games later tonight.
Mariners just closed out.
All right, so a win for Seattle is
shirt tails out, handshakes out.
There you go. Come from behind victory for them. That's what they needed, as it's been a slow start for Seattle.
My Mariner friend, state of Washington friends, left St. Louis and went to the Twin Cities for the Twin Series.
Make it a whole road trip. That would be that'd be really.
They
fun.
are nice people.
Yeah, no, good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad they're enjoying even in a rough start to the season type of year. They're having fun. But
good luck in the postseason.
Yeah, we'll hope to see you there. No, that's your go-to. But we need to wrap up this first hour, get to a break, and when we return, we're switching gears. Got to talk some golf, make our picks as well. John Goen from Timber Trust, he joins us next.
Whether you're buying, selling, or just want a fast cash offer, call Bubba Sandifer at Emmett Baird Realty at 901-257-9420 or direct at 901-319-0747. Looking to buy? Bubba will help you find that perfect home. Thinking about selling? Don't just stick a sign in your yard and hope for the best. With Bubba Sandifer at Emmett Baird Realty, you get maximum exposure, serious buyers, and real results. Want speed? He'll buy it as is for cash. Want top dollar? He'll list it. Either way, you win. Call Bubba Sandifer at 901-319-0747.
Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening is coming to the Graceland Soundstage. Saturday, May 9th at 8 p.m. Jason's thunderous drumming recalls one of the greatest to ever sit behind the skins, his late father, John Bonham of Led Zeppelin. This is as close as you will ever get to letting the lead out live. Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Get your tickets today at GracelandLive.com.
Hi, this is Troy Five Ash, owner of Five Ash Roof Services. I wanted to take a minute and discuss advertising with you. There are so many websites that list the best service provider in your area. Even the BBB has an accredited list. You know the one thing they all have in common? A company like mine has to pay to get on that list. So that begs the question, can those lists be trusted? You know what can be trusted? History. We've been around for almost 30 years providing customers with the best service and the best products that we possibly can. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call. We'll come talk to you and let you decide for yourself whether or not we know what we're talking about. 5 Roof Services. Best products, best warranties, and in many cases, the best price. We're fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
I got him on the line out there in Gossett Volkswagen Germantown. Hey, Marty McNate, what's going on?
I've got some big news. Volkswagen Driver Days is going on at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown.
And I hear you've got some incredible deals happening right now.
You heard right, Randy. I got 2026 Jetta S, $277 a month.
$277 a month for Jetta. Hey, what else you got?
How about 2026 Taos S, $327 a month.
$327 a month for Taos S, and I hear you got a Tiguan deal out of this world.
2026 Tiguan S, $355 a month.
Well, it sounds like you got something for everyone.
Come see me, Marty McNate, at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com. And remember, your future is what you make it.
36-month lease, Jetta S at 104,280, MSRP 26,426, Taos SMO 6162, MSRP 27,011, Jetta GMW 5137, MSRP 25,820, Taos S PM 108, 191, MSRP 29,101, Tiguan TMO 14510, MSRP 32,585, includes all rebate payments, SPF 895, excludes tax on license with approved credit. See the complete details, offering score 3026, dealer stock only.
Coming up on Backport Sports.
We're going to go over how the SEC fared in last week's NFL draft, as well as ponder who might hear their names called next year. And it's been 15 years since former Arkansas and Ole Miss coach Houston Nutt roamed the sidelines of the SEC. We're going to look back at his career and ask him how he'd do if he were still coaching in 2026. All that and more Saturday morning. Be sure to join us.
Backport Sports, Saturday mornings at 10 on Sports 56 AM and 98.5 FM.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Despite a couple of EMS calls out here the last 15, 20 minutes, traffic flow's been moving fairly decent, trying to get south, and Memphis has increased, however, right on schedule, actually down into DeSoto County on 55 going southbound as it builds just a little bit more sections of the Midtown area, especially I-40 over here up by Chelsea. And bridal season is just around the corner. Shop local. Do it right now at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Memphis's original sports station. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our second hour on this Wednesday afternoon. And we've got to talk some golf, as we do every single week at this time. And joining us now, John Goen from Timber Trust. Hey, John, how are things down at Timber Trust?
Hey, Bryant. Things are a little wet after last night, but definitely much-needed rain. Golf course is kind of draining out today, so we should be pretty good by tomorrow, and looking forward to the weekend here. So no complaints from our standpoint, but I already have noticed a difference, which I know it's silly to say, but like from just the 0.6 of an inch we got yesterday morning to like yesterday afternoon before the rain started back up. I mean, you can just see started seeing Bermuda seed head and things along those lines. So just that little bit of rain kind of really reset the grass and how it's reacting, and, probably going to get it to start maybe jumping out of the ground now a little bit. So that's an encouraging sign.
Are you close to having your greens like you want them, John?
Not necessarily. I mean, we've definitely come down in height. We've done 4 top dressings over the span of the last 4 weeks. I was actually going to do a super light verticut on Monday, and we got started with it, and about 4 greens in, the mower had an issue, which is, normal. So we weren't able to get that in this week, but, the biggest thing right now is, making sure we can get down maybe just a little bit further in height, continue our cultural practices with our top dressings and start verticutting is going to be the biggest, kind of next step, to help, maybe gain some speeds and a little bit more consistency, from that standpoint. So that's kind of where we're at, but you're still super, super early. I mean, we've greened up, but up until lately, we just haven't, you're not growing yet. You've just kind of greened up. So we're really just kind of waiting for that little bit of growth spurt,
well, we know
where you can
the Jim Thomas
start getting
rule.
a little aggressive. Yes, the Jim Thomas rule.
We got to combine 150 high and low, but and that's going to be a real challenge. We'll get to that as weeks and the next year goes on. For the tournament date next year for TPC Southwind, look, you can schedule it whenever. That doesn't mean the golf course is going to be ready by then. But John, on greens, you have so many things for your people that come and pay their hard-earned money, and you want them to have a great time. You want a good presentation when they hit the parking lot, when they come into the clubhouse, whether they eat, tee boxes, fairways, everything. But aren't you defined more so in daily fee, but really anywhere, whether it's your place or Pine Valley? Aren't you defined by greens?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think that's the number one thing. I think that if you've got good putting surfaces, folks can forgive some of the rest of it. They, to a point, I mean, they can still be superly critical of all of it. But if you've got good putting surfaces, I think people can be a little bit more forgiving with regard to certain things. So, and that's why it's always kind of been a focus, and that's why, I ideally, really kind of paid attention and spent a lot of time with Jim Thomas and Nick Bazans and those guys when I was at Southwind, because not that I ever knew I was going to be in this position by any stretch of the imagination, but it has definitely been beneficial for me, just paying attention to all the cultural practices that we did at TPC and then implementing those at Timber Trust, and just trying to do the best we can with a substantially smaller budget, but really making greens our biggest focus.
Yeah, no doubt about it. News coming down in the last hour, so some breaking news here, that the Saudis have officially pulled their funding for Live Golf. So after all the talk a couple weeks ago about that was coming, it has officially happened. According to the Wall Street Journal, Live is set to tell the staff and players by Thursday that Saudi Arabia's public investment fund would end its funding for the Upstart League. So I guess my question now, they told us a couple weeks ago they'll make it through the season. Do you think Live makes it through what their scheduled season is right now?
Well, I mean, they've already canceled New Orleans, so they're not going to make it through the full season.
Nope.
I saw that yesterday that that they've officially kind of backed out of the New Orleans event there at City Park. So, I mean, it's just going to be a matter of, I'm willing to bet that their attendance has been superb overseas. Mm-hmm. So I'm willing to bet that in Asia and Australia and places like that are still on the schedule to host events, that they have a legitimate chance of getting those events in. But I think anything in the U.S. is probably done.
Including in next week at Trump National in D.C.?
Well, hard to say there. I mean,
I wouldn't want to stand them up.
True, and that could be one of the few left. And DC's a larger market. New Orleans is not.
Trump Bedminster in August.
Yep. So there could be some strategic play there. I mean, again, D.C., you've got a good golf market. Jersey, obviously you can pull from New York and everything else. You get a good golf market.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be extremely strategic, but I think anything that is a smaller venue, if they would have been in Nashville again this year, probably would have gone away. Clearly, like I said, New Orleans just came out yesterday that they were not going to go down there in June. That event is definitely off the schedule. So, I think just like anything else, decisions are going to be extremely difficult and are going to need to be made to make sure they can get in as much of their season as they can. If I'm a player, I'm wondering, if I sign these contracts, like, does the Saudi fund then finish paying off the contract before they, fully back out? Or am I, going to be short money because they're pulling out altogether?
Yeah, where's my cash? And that's people that have to be asking that. And the young player from Ole Miss that passed up his last year at Ole Miss to take the money last year, you just wonder what his status is going to be. Speaking of status, you're commissioner of the PGA Tour. You're Brian Rolapp. You have the decision. How do you, if you do, welcome these guys back? How would you do that, John?
Well, I mean, I think, it already feels like that determination has been made. Now, granted, it's been made with guys that have won majors over the span of the last 5 years, which is a very small handful of people. But, clearly there's going to be some type of penalty, and then you're more than likely going to start out on the Korn Ferry Tour. You're not going to automatically be able to jump back in to having status on the regular tour, and then you're going to have to probably earn your card back is the direction that I can see those types of things going. I mean, they're not going to, let you just come back on and I think have complete status. I mean, look at what's happening with Brooks Koepka. I mean, he's not eligible for signature events. He's got to, try to qualify to be able to get into those. He
sat on his golf bag in front of the clubhouse at Hilton Head as an alternate and never made it. But sat there like a like a peon on tour would have to, and he's not a peon.
No. Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be a tough kind of reintegration for these guys. You think about a Dustin Johnson, a Bryson DeChambeau. I mean, Bryson has the ability to come back under the rules that they had set up with Tiger and everybody, so he'll pay his $5 million, not be eligible for FedEx Cup points, and not be eligible for signature events. He'll have to earn his way back into those. So he's got that opportunity. I mean, clearly Patrick Reed's playing on the DP World Tour right now. He's trying to earn his way back, onto the regular tour through the DP Tour. It's going to be an interesting process, and all the while you're talking about, cutting the schedule and only having larger events or events in larger cities and things along those lines. So, I mean, it's going to be extremely interesting to see, one, how the tour schedule shakes out, and two, these guys that have gone, the bigger names that have gone and played, on the Live Tour, how do they kind of land back on their feet onto the tour? And that's if they want to. I mean, let's face it, guys. I can see Dustin Johnson just saying, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah.
I've got all this money. I've kind of figured out how I maybe can spend it or not spend it.
And what money I don't have, my wife and her father, they do have.
Well, exactly. And maybe Dustin Johnson was a bad example of this situation. But, like I said, I mean, Patrick Reed still clearly wants to play. Bryson DeChambeau will clearly want to play. There's some other guys. I mean, Charles Schwartzel. Cam Smith is another one. Like, he's completely off the grid since He wins the Open Championship, goes to Live, and it's almost, hadn't played in a major, hadn't done anything.
No.
John, what a chapter Live Golf ended up being, and we've talked many times of Phil ended up. It's a little like Jose Canseco in the baseball book. Juiced. He was right, just nobody really wanted to hear it, and nobody wanted to hear it from Jose Canseco, and maybe we didn't want to hear that from Phil Mickelson. Different. They both had different. They have vastly different images for the public. But what it did to Phil, and a few weeks ago, Bryant, remember I was going through all the things that it cost him.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a text from a friend. He said, you left out the biggest one. And it's true. And it'll be at a point in his life that he'll want that ovation. He'll want to be remembered. He'll want to be appreciated. Phil at 75 is not hitting any first opening shots at Augusta National.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, I mean, did he really have something going on this year to where he couldn't make it, to Augusta? I mean, heck, Tiger was
he
trying
told to stay away?
Right. So, I mean, he's got to issue a statement every single year, basically making up something fictitious that's going on in his life to where he's not going to be able to make it to Augusta this year, which is extremely unfortunate. I mean, he's won that golf tournament multiple times. He's earned the right to be able to do it. Just because he, I guess, in essence, stood up for himself or the players and everything else. I mean, it's unfortunate that that's the way that has gone, but I guess it's the way that it has gone. But yeah, I mean, it's not going to be. You're not going to see Tiger and Phil hitting the tee shot at Augusta National like you see, Jack and Gary Player and Tom
Bryant
Watson.
and Landon.
That's not happening.
We weren't going to anyway, but Bryant and Landon won't get to see it.
It's quite morbid.
Right.
I guess.
Quite true.
I guess so. This week on the PGA Tour, 5 of the top 15 players will not be playing in the signature event, including Rory McIlroy after his Masters win. He has not played in a tournament since the Masters victory. Does that surprise you that so many guys are missing a signature event this week? And is it a surprise that Rory hasn't played since the Masters?
Well, no, it's not a surprise that Rory hasn't played since the Masters. I think, he was in a similar situation. Well, I guess he did play last year with Shane because they were the defending champions in New Orleans.
Right.
But, look, he's going to take time to celebrate his back-to-back, and there's really, nothing else going on. And yeah, I mean, if there's nothing to really be playing for from his perspective, then,
he was at the White House last night for the state dinner. Pretty good life he's leading.
Yep. And, and at this point, I mean, he doesn't have to, he doesn't have to prove anything to anybody. So, I mean, if he wants to take some time off, he's going to take some time off. So,
will he play in Memphis?
I mean, he didn't play last year in Memphis.
No.
Do you think there's really going to be that much pressure on him to play in Memphis this year?
It's even less.
Right.
Last year worked for him.
Yeah, I mean, he already skipped last year. I mean, there's zero, and becomes even less and less now that you move to a signature event.
Yeah,
because now, Memphis will be, because they get one, right? You're given one free little pass, and this is obviously he's using it this week, at Doral. So if you get your one free pass, he's going to take his one free pass and he'll use it for Memphis if he doesn't want to go up here. So,
what do you know about this course? What do you expect this weekend with this event, the Cadillac Championship?
Well, I mean, obviously difficult golf course. I mean, depending on wind blowing and everything else. So I think it'll be a difficult challenge. You're coming off of silly golf this past week. So, I think, you gotta think a guy like Scotty Scheffler is, kind of coming off of everything that happened between Augusta and the following week at Harbortown and everything. And so he'll be probably charged up a little bit. So you got to think he's ready to go. Had a little bit more time with the newborn, so he's maybe been working on his golf game a shade more to kind of be a little bit more, finely tuned and focused and ready to go. So, and then it'll just be interesting to kind of see the rest of the field and how they respond. But, they're getting back to it now. Cam Young coming off of some of his performances, Justin Rose and his little fall apart at Augusta. I think this is his first event back.
And
of the guys that are in the
we're
top,
picking PGA Championship picks. I mean, they've got to start getting ready for the next major.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So they're probably, they've taken some time off after Augusta, and now, they got to kind of refocus and start, lining up the schedule and getting ready and getting their games primed up for the next major.
Did last week. He took a little time off after Augusta last week.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up.
I mean, well, John, you already called it silly golf, so I don't want to hear anything. I mean, what were we doing last week? I mean, good Lord.
Bagel.
We talk so much about live, and then we roll this out there.
And you had 4 players.
Good Lord.
Yeah. You still think you could make a pick to, make some money. I mean, now granted, it's not as bad as picking and getting a bagel in a major for crying out loud. But,
And did you notice the shot in the text reply Sunday night? Well, Brett, I think you can come back. Brett did after Augusta.
Yeah,
did you notice that?
Brett had a great second week after his bagel.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Well, here's my big next week. So I'll
There we
sort
go.
our picks,
Right.
and surprise, surprise, I'll take Scotty.
Yeah.
Ooh, great pick.
Well, that's
really
the.
good
I mean,
pick.
that's the perfect.
that's
hey,
Brett's pick.
You need electrolytes after a drunken night out. You need a Scotty Scheffler after a bagel week.
That's it. That leaves me. I'm torn between 2, but I'm going to take Justin Rose.
Landon?
I guess it would be me, the winner of last week. Russell Henley. I'll go with him.
That's not who I was torn with.
Hen dog.
John?
Russell Henley?
Yeah, he did.
I went with Russell Henley, John. You can't.
Last
take
week's
him
winner.
out.
You notice he got that in.
Yeah, I did win last week.
Oh, yeah. Not one to toot his own horn, but toot, right?
Yeah.
Well, somebody you weren't.
No, I don't think any of us were.
No.
No. It's
I forgot
fun.
about it.
I remember. Greatest day of my life.
You try to block out, bagels, and then you just want to forget that week anyhow.
Yeah.
I'll hope that Cam Young kind of returns to form from Augusta, and we'll kind of go from there. So I will take Cameron Young.
That's who I was torn with. So the locks are Scotty Scheffler, Justin Rose, Russell Henley, Cam Young. I'll start with the shocks and go with Jake.
Whoa,
Brian, I'm sorry. Brian, it's you. I'm sorry.
And I tell you, if we're gonna beat up on him, at least let him go where he's supposed to go.
I'm just so used to going first. I'm sorry, Brian.
The funny business continues. I'll take Akshay.
Okay, I was torn between Akshay or Jake Knapp, and you got who you wanted. I'll take Jake Knapp. Very good, Landon.
I will take Sam Burns.
Good pick. Real good pick. John?
Yep.
You can't pick Sam Burns.
See.
You once named a hamburger on the menu at TPC South went after him, who I had next.
Yeah. Let's see. How about Victor Hovland?
Victor Hovland burger.
What a pick.
Yeah, the
I didn't
Hovland burger
realize
sounds interesting.
26 world golf ranking. I didn't know it was that low. I had him in our lock picks. John, really good pick.
That is a good pick. That is a really good pick. All right. So I've got Scotty and Akshay.
Right.
Brett, you have Justin Rose and Jake Knapp. Landon has Henley and Burns. And John has Young and Hovland. So we'll see how it plays out this weekend. And hopefully no bagels for any of us. Hopefully it's a great week for all 4 of us. But
Trust me, if it's a bagel for somebody and it's me, I'll get worn out from next week. I'm ready for it.
You give it, you take it.
We'll be nice.
That's how it goes. And I don't think we will be.
Be nice.
I don't think we'll be very
I said
nice.
nobody ever out of this group.
Never.
No, not at all. It gets ugly with the golf picks. But John, tell us about this weekend out at Timber Trust, how people can book tee times.
Yeah, so I think, we've kind of moved on from the rain and everything. I think the weekend's going to actually be pretty good. So have a couple days to dry out. Probably going to be a little bit behind going into tomorrow, but hopefully we'll be able to kind of get the golf course and everything mowed out before this weekend. We're going to do our best to do that. So 2-man tomorrow night. You can call us, 662-895-3530. Make sure you do just ask to be transferred directly to the golf shop with our AI person, and they'll get you transferred to the golf shop. You can sign up for tomorrow night. That's a 5:30 shotgun. And then Saturday, you can either book tee times online at timbertrustgolf.com, or again, just give us a shout. You can book those through the AI assistant, or you can, again, be transferred to the shop and be able to book those tee times. So looks like we're lining up, I think, last I saw, to be a halfway decent weekend. So conditions should be good. I mean, definitely everything kind of greening up after all this rain, which will be a nice little change of pace. And, 71, 76 so far is what it kind of looks like for the weekend. So we should be in pretty good shape kind of moving forward. And that'll just help golf course conditions as we continue to kind of, recover from some spring dead spot and a little bit of winter damage here and there, and the normal spring activity stuff that we're just waiting for some growing season to kind of recover from. So overall, like we said, greens are pretty good right now. Just, haven't gotten them completely dialed in, but they're in pretty good shape. We had a SNEDS Tour event this past weekend, and I know the kids enjoyed themselves. So come on down to Timber Trust in North Mississippi there in Olive Branch, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody this weekend.
Yeah.
Any carryover in the scramble tomorrow night?
No carryover so far. And we've been pretty good team wise. So we'll just kind of see how it goes. But it took till the end of the year last year. I think we had 5 consecutive weeks of a carryover, and that was the first time in a year and a half. So, it's we'll keep our fingers crossed as we go forward.
Yeah, well, sounds like a fun weekend down at Timber Trust. John, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you again next Wednesday.
All right, guys. Take care.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John.
John Goen joining us. Talk some golf down there at Timber Trust. Make sure you go book your tee times. Looks like it's going to be a really nice weekend for some golf.
When are you getting the sticks out?
Pretty soon. Usually,
time?
Yeah, around this time.
Time to lose some golf balls?
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I would say, I know usually it's around when Connor gets out of school, and we'll go kind of in the morning and play some golf.
He's got graduation, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he said finals weeks either this week or next week, so he's starting to wrap up, and then we'll get out there and get some more golf in. So it'll be fun. It'll be frustrating during the round, but it'll be fun before and after. But yeah, the big news though out of the golf world that the Saudis have officially cut the funding for Live Golf. So
boy, when they've had enough fun, it was losing some money.
Yeah, no, that is not a good sign at all.
And the money figures, we'll never know them, but they are staggering, and it was ashtray money in your car for them.
No, it's just.
And they had enough.
Oh yeah,
and that's one of the biggest things. I don't care who it is, billionaire, even them with trillionaire, they can't even calculate it. Successful people don't want to lose money.
No, and yeah, they just had enough with Live, and so we'll see if they make it through the season. Like John mentioned, they've already canceled the tournament in New Orleans, but like you said, maybe we see them finish off with some.
Well, that saved
European
them
tours.
from melting in June in New Orleans.
Yeah, it definitely did. So, and we'll see what the rest of this year looks like for them, and kind of what that process will look like for those guys as they try to return to the PGA Tour. Will be really, really interesting. But let's go ahead and get to another break, and when we return, we'll talk more of the news that came out last night, right before we got off air, of the NCAA intending to expand the NCAA tournament. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We'll do it next on Sports Time.
Did you miss your favorite Sports 56 show? No! Check out the podcast, broken down hourly at sports56whbq.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to like and subscribe. Never miss any Sports 56 show again with our podcasts available daily from Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Your home is your best investment, so why not make it the best it can be with help from Gates Lumber? Start with your front door, serving 2 purposes, curb appeal and security. Gates has solid construction doors built for security, durability, and beauty. See and compare wood, steel, and fiberglass options side by side at Gates Showroom. It's easier to choose when you can see and touch real doors with real assistance from knowledgeable staff helping you choose the right door for your home and budget. So don't just replace your door, upgrade your protection, and Gates Lumber is the right choice. Family owned and operated, serving you for over 100 years with free estimates, free delivery, competitive prices, and quality products. Call 901-942-3201, go to gateslumber.com, or come by their showroom, 1253 South Bellevue Boulevard. Gates Lumber, celebrating over 100 years with a passion for craftsmanship since 1920.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Incorporated, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Let me ask you something. I bet it's Central Barbecue related. It is Central Barbecue related. Shoot. You don't want me to ask you a Central Barbecue related question? No, I mean shoot as in go ahead and ask. Oh, you can be very confusing. Ask your question. Which one of Central Barbecue's sauces is your favorite? That's a trick question because, you know, Central Barbecue's slogan is smoke is our sauce, so you don't really even need a sauce. Other than smoke, what's your favorite sauce? I can't do all of them all. Mild, hot, mustard, vinegar, hot vinegar, sweet heat, all of them. And that is how you make a Central Barbecue radio commercial.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
This traffic brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. A little bit more volume just in the last couple of minutes out here on 40, especially coming past Germantown Parkway in the eastbound lanes, pushing all the way out into Fayette County. There's been radar out here on and off south of Memphis. That was a little bit earlier on 55 as it starts to build pretty good now. 55 right now through South Haven, pushing down into DeSoto County. Bridal season is just around the corner, so shop local at Weimer's Jewelry. You always save money when you shop there first at Weimer's Jewelry out there on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Back into Sports Time, Bryant and Brett with you, and we've got to talk some college hoops because the news came down yesterday about 5 o'clock or so that the NCAA is intending to expand their NCAA tournament. While it's not finalized yet, the NCAA yesterday took the final steps that needed to be taken to ultimately be able to make it official. Sometime in the month of May, sounds like mid to late May, it will become official. But We will be getting 76-team fields in both men's and women's basketball, so that means instead of Dayton, the first 4, we will have an opening round that will be featured in Dayton and an additional site. So it's going to be weird. It's going to be different, but we're getting it. It's coming this season, and I guess we all just have to be fine with it.
Yeah, well, we do, and we will, but right now we can not like it.
Yeah.
And I don't like it because it's going to change a lot of things. It doesn't appear to be that much more money in the current TV deal for teams, because the TV deal was struck. You're just going to work with inside those numbers. Now that always can be renegotiated and cracked back open and done with a different network. But I can't imagine it not ending up with either CBS or TNT doing the Final Four in the final game. But that could change, and there hadn't been that big a change since 1981. Last year, NBC did the Final Four in the final game, and they even did that year a consolation game in the finals on that Monday night. But, Brian, it's going to change. I'm sad that it's going to change kind of the vibe for so many of us of waiting for Selection Sunday, getting our bracket on Sunday night, having a little time to digest it and go over it, and whoever was robbed, we go over the few teams, and that's lessened with Dayton. And then we've gotten kind of used to Dayton, and then our brackets have to be in, and we've really hadn't concentrated on the Dayton teams. Nobody really, some pick those for their brackets, but it's going to change the vibe of that. You're going to have your bracket turned in by 5 o'clock Monday now.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people are talking about is when it comes to brackets, how will this affect it? Will people kind of view it still like they view Dayton, or will it kind of be the new first round and kind of change when people do their brackets? And, when you look at how much those games are counted for and what they mean, does that now play a factor into it? So, people got to decide that before March, because I don't know what it will look like for people.
Now, I have, and many have proclaimed, who do you think is the power conference right now in college sports? Who is it, Bryant? And who have I proclaimed it to be?
I mean, I think it's the Big Ten with everything they've won lately.
It is the Big Ten. Now, with that, and you're not getting very much of it, but if you're the power, then you've got to take at least some of this heat. Where's all the heat being turned to on changing it?
Who? I don't know. I haven't seen it.
On Greg Sankey.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That makes that does
no. That's not how it works.
Well,
if you're the standard bearer, you get to catch some of the what too.
Sure. But Greg Sankey, he might not have the power conference right now, but he's the biggest name out there right now.
And I say that, and let me be blunt about it. The NCAA gave in to Sankey Petiti, Big Ten, SEC, because they don't want them with how they're going to break away from football eventually and do their own thing. They don't want them taking the basketball tournament with them, so they had to give them more spots, and that's what they're going to get. These spots aren't going to the runner-up of the Sun Belt.
No, they're going to go to the power conference teams. Our friend Kevin Sweeney, who joins us during the basketball season, he had some tweets about it yesterday. He said the new last 4 in would be from last season: Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech, Cal, and 17 and 16 Arizona State. And then he had another tweet.
That saves Bobby Hurley's job.
Yeah, that's right. He had another tweet that said this is the new first 12, or what the new first 12 would look like based on NCAA seed list, first 4 out, and wins above bubble. Mid-major AQs get pushed down, and still no room for Belmont, New Mexico, Yale, etc. And Akron, South Florida, McNeese likely would have missed without auto bid. So what he kind of has all the games. What it would look like, the at-large play-ins would be Arizona State versus Cal, Oklahoma State versus Virginia Tech, Indiana versus Oklahoma, Auburn versus San Diego State, and then the games we already got, SMU, Miami, Ohio, Texas, and NC State. And then you would have the automatic qualifier play-ins with the 16 seeds and the 15 seeds, Lehigh, Prairie View, Howard, UMBC. Those were already scheduled for Dayton last year. But then you'd have Queens, LIU, FIU playing for a 16 spot, Furman, Siena playing for a 16 spot, and then Kennesaw, Wright State for a 15, and Idaho and Tennessee State playing for a 15. So, those last, 8 teams that I listed, those were, in the bracket, missed Dayton, got that, number 1 or number 2 team in the tournament, but instead they'll have to win that game against another 16 or 15 seed before ultimately getting to the main bracket.
They're kind of kicked over to the bad table.
No, they definitely are. And so
they're really not in the tournament. They're going to, with all the puffery of the NCAA, and they're going to set the buildings up. I hope one of the buildings is FedEx Forum. And they're going to direct the questions to the student athletes, and they're going to try to convince you that it's opening round, that they made it just like anybody else did. No, they didn't, and we all know it.
Yeah, I mean,
they're over there in a subsection bracket.
Yeah, I mean, it's the unfortunate part of Dayton. I enjoy Dayton. I enjoy those first 2 nights of the tournament, but it's like you talked about with the brackets. It makes it such a quick turnaround to where, you get the bracket on Sunday, you're playing those first games on Tuesday. I mean, and obviously here, Tennessee State was a much bigger story because of Nolan Smith and his ties as an assistant to Memphis. But, Tennessee State was a big story, winning their conference and playing, the number 2 seed and being in that tournament. There was a lot of buildup throughout the week about their game and even some of these other teams in here. And so, instead of that, a team like that who has had one of the best seasons in their program history, they're going to play that first game. If they were to lose to Idaho on a Tuesday, everyone would forget about them. They would no longer be a story of the NCAA tournament, and I kind of hate that.
And Bryant, for somebody, it won't be the bigger conferences. It wouldn't be Oklahoma and Cal and some of those names you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
But for some of those smaller conferences, you're trying to arrange charter planes on Sunday night to get out of there to get to wherever you're playing on Tuesday.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's certainly more travel. And, those teams that go to Dayton have had to do that, but now you're quadrupling the amount of teams that are now having to do that to kind of figure out where they're going and how they're going to make it work. So, it's a lot different. But like we said yesterday, everyone's still going to watch it. It's, I think, probably even going to be more of a hit come March because we'll have the all-day basketball. We'll see those schedules of games starting at noon or whatever it's going to look like. And
will it have us transfixed, the 11:20 Tuesday game? Will it?
I would say probably just because it's day basketball and it will have the logo of March Madness on it, and so I think it will get a lot of people watching it. It won't have the same effect as the first round does, but I think it will be kind of bigger than what Dayton might be year in, year out.
All right, do you like my idea about Memphis trying to host?
I think I think it'd be cool. I don't know what they're kind of looking for
Plausible.
in terms of it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it'd be, if they can do it, if the NCAA is interested in Memphis being a host site for something like this, and I say you got to do what you need to do to try to make it happen.
I think it's already been announced that since they have Dayton and East Coast, that they want a Central or West time.
Yeah.
What would, and I know through the years with Mark Wise, he had discussed Albuquerque.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be a really good one. Obviously. If you've got the East Coast with Dayton, I wouldn't mind kind of more of a West Coast kind of, that side of the country being that second host. That might help with TV times and tip times and different things like that. But, I certainly want it outside. If you're going to have that second one, I'd like it to have it outside of the, East Coast. So, I think whether it's Memphis or Albuquerque or, somewhere else, I don't know what any of the other options would be. But, I think you need to go to a place that really likes basketball. Memphis is one of the, Albuquerque loves basketball. So, I think there are some good options, but I just don't know how they're viewing it.
For the bigger conferences, mainly SEC and Big Ten, I think for the coaches, this is going to be more of a job saver than a resume bullet point builder.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the biggest question over the first 5 or so years of the expanded tournament is how do athletic directors, how do fan bases view this? Are fan bases happy that they're in the opening round of the NCAA tournament just because they are in March Madness?
How many fans do the big boys take?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. What are the athletic directors are looking at this? If you're like we just said, there are teams that are going to be a couple games over 500 making the field based on what was last year. And so
you would hope geographically, kind of more toward closer to Dayton, you do that, more toward wherever the second site is to that.
Yeah, no, definitely. But, I think the question is, how do the fan bases, how do the athletic directors look at it in terms of job security and what it means for you as a coach? Are they going to be happy with just getting to the opening round, or will they say, well, that's great, but we know what that really means. That isn't much of a achievement based on kind of where college basketball is. So I really don't know how athletic directors and fan bases are going to look at it.
You hate bracket contests, don't you?
I don't hate them. I'm not a huge fan of them, though.
I think the only reason you do the one here is because I pay for it. You don't want to hurt my feelings and say, Brad, I don't want to do it.
No, I'd do it. I just don't live and die by it. There are a lot of people, they live and die with their bracket with every single game.
It's my whole id and super ego with my bracket prowess.
I mean, that's good. Like, I'm happy for people that view it that way. I just don't. I do
it's
it.
my whole persona.
I mean, but
it gets me through the springtime.
Well,
Brian. Knowing that I'm college basketball aficionado.
Well, hey, you are. I mean, you win the bracket. It's a big deal. But I just kind of I fill out the bracket and then I kind of just watch the games, play some bets here and there, and I kind of forget about the bracket.
But now, so if you ran the brackets, would you make people do Dayton and the other city, or
I wouldn't.
Does it all start Thursday?
I'd keep it and treat it like you've treated Dayton the last couple of years.
Like it's over at the bad time.
Yeah, I mean, it's they're playing games. I mean, you call it whatever you want. They're playing games, and until you're, I know there are a lot of people that, there's some people that don't even, if you're in Dayton and you don't win the game in Dayton, some people say you didn't make the NCAA tournament because you were just at Dayton. I think you are still a part of the NCAA tournament if you make Dayton. But I think you have to win out of Dayton in terms of of bracket contests. That's at least how I would do it. But that's going to be the question of how do the online and different
win that
pools
way too.
Do it. Yeah, I mean it's interesting. It's weird. But hey, you're
and I'm saying all this, Landon. This is when you should say, wait a second. I won the contest between us three.
He did. That's right. He sure did. He was our winner.
Which is still weird.
Yeah, no.
I won among everybody on the air posted on Eli's door, but Landon won among us three.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Everyone's different with how they do their bracket contest and how everything's weighted, so this just throws kind of...
Everybody wins.
Yeah, this throws a wrench into it. I don't know what it's going to look like, but changes are coming with the NCAA tournament. We need to get to another break. When we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You know what makes the city great? It's the extra special little things like great museums, a zoo, or parks, and golf courses. And the city of Memphis recognized that years ago, and they have made great city golf courses. All the renovations, like Galloway several years ago, the new one at Audubon, what they did to Pine Hill 90 years after it first opened is extra special. The amenities make a city, and golf courses are part of those amenities. They're terrific, and every golf course has its own championship. So if you want to play in the Galloway Championship, the Audubon Championship, even that OPO, the oldest golf tournament around, the Overton Park Open for the youth, that's going into year 80. That's how special Memphis golf is. You want to make a tee time? They made it easy modern way. Just go to MemphisPublicLinks.com.
Volkswagen Driver Days is going strong, and Gossett Volkswagen's got you covered on the pike. Get out here right now and get sporty 2026 Jetta S. We Gossett now just $249 a month. $249 a month for Jetta S. How about 2026 Tiguan S? We Gossett $269 a month. Yes, $269 a month for Tiguan S. And if you're looking for performance, style, and technology, look no further than 2026 Atlas SE. We Gossett at $319 a month. Or get 0% for 60 months available. You ready for a new ride? Well, we got you covered at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike, 1875 Covington Pike, or online online, gossipbwmemphis.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month lease, Jetta TM 005137, MSRP 25820, Tiguan TMO 14510, MSRP 32585, Atlas TC 515398, MSRP 41841, includes all rebates and incentives, must be financed through Volkswagen Credit PF 895, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month, dealer stock only.
Napa Cafe celebrates 28 years in 2026.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner. Maybe start with an appetizer like our baked sweet peculiar peppers stuffed with goat cheese and mozzarella, finish with basil pistou, and move on to one of our cozy dishes like the double chocolate stout braised boneless beef short ribs with tonkatsu sauce and creamy mashed potatoes. Or a fresh seafood dish like our pan-roasted ginger-buttered sea bass with cilantro soy vinaigrette. I get hungry just talking about it. Don't forget about dessert, our famous sweet buttermilk pie with brown sugar sauce, or drink your dessert with one of our signature dessert cocktails like the lemon cheesecake martini, lemony, icy, frothy, and dusted with graham cracker crumbs. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. We can't wait to serve you.
Come join in and celebrate 28 years of Napa Cafe in 2026.
Here's something you don't see every day. It's a full-on brawl at Family Leisure. Oh, yeah. There's a battle of the brands happening right now through May the 10th with 7 different manufacturers all fighting it out for your business. Listen to this opening blow. Hot tubs starting at $34.99. Ouch! Then followed up with a mean right hook of swim spas starting at $16,999. That's a starting price. There are so many deals right now at Family Leisure, and the prices are just too low for me to even mention on the radio. One thing I can tell you, if you stop by Family Leisure and tell them you heard this on the radio, you're going to get a free cover lift with your spa purchase. But you better hurry in before all these great deals get knocked out. Technically, this is called the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Expo, but we're calling it the Battle of the Brands, happening now through May 10th at Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, where family and fun come together.
NST is the way to go. Call 68370.
This is Parker Trotz with NST Injury Attorneys. After a car accident, money is on the line, and that's why one call can change everything. For over 35 years, we've gone toe-to-toe with insurance companies and won billions for our clients.
NST is the way to go. Call 68370. They've got the fight, they've got the heart.
NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000 or visit nstlaw.com.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brown. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
What up, big guy? I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, my big number of the day today, I've already mentioned it today, so I got too excited, and so I'm going to say it again, but it is the number 16. So far this season, the Los Angeles Dodgers have 16 come-from-behind wins. Very early in the season to already have 16. They're down right now against Miami as the Marlins have 2 outs. But the Dodgers have bases loaded.
Everywhere.
They're challenging right now, and so we'll see.
Handshakes. It's over.
No, that's ball game. They got the final out as there was a wild play there, and they were able to get the final out. So a loss there, but had another opportunity as they've trailed every single game this series against the Marlins. They were able to come from behind, win Monday night, and then a loss last night, a loss today. So back-to-back losses for the Dodgers coming against Miami, but that does not take away from the 16 come-from-behind losses that the Dodgers have this year. I guess that's good that they've been able to win so many games despite trailing. They've been living on the edge a lot, but I don't know. They're really good, but it's been kind of weird having to watch them win some of these games.
Call confirmed. Marlins played them tough, didn't they?
They did. No, like I said, they led in all 3 games. It was 3 the Dodgers had to come from behind in all of them, lost 2 of them, but going into the 9th inning in all 3, the Marlins led, and it was just Monday, Dodgers were able to come back and get the win. So really impressive stuff for Miami.
They get on the jet airplane bound for St. Louis.
The Dodgers do? Dodgers in town this week?
They're in St. Louis all weekend.
Interesting. We'll see if the
biggest crowds of the year.
Well, yeah, not a surprise there.
Not a surprise at all. My big number is 5,008. 5008. That's the career playoff points for Kevin Durant. KD to the uninitiated. 7th place all time. Trails Tim Duncan by 164 for 6th place. This was going to be the playoff run where he passed Duncan, Shaq, and Kobe.
Wow.
He's not going to catch any of them.
No, it's been unfortunate. I mean, I've been wanting to see him out there. Obviously, he would be a huge help to Houston, but just can't get on the court. I mean, this
the debate could arise for Houston of this.
What's that?
Built for the regular season.
Yeah, no, it definitely could. I mean, this was supposed to be the kind of go for it year where it was going to be a deep postseason run with the addition of KD.
1, 2, and 3 in career playoff points. LeBron 1, Michael Jordan 2, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar 3.
Wow, that's a good 1, 2, 3. So.
Yeah, it is.
And LeBron can keep building on that with this playoffs. And
as the debate rages about GOAT status, of course LeBron started it.
Yeah, no, of course he did. But the GOAT status always there. That debate always there. But man, I wish we could have gotten some good games this series between KD and LeBron. I mean, just 2 prolific scorers, and I hate having to see KD on the sideline. Right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it'll look like. They're 4.5-point favorite right now. So I think they got a really good chance of winning this game tonight and putting it away. And we'll see what they can do and if they can get Luka Doncic back anytime soon.
Anything you like tonight?
I haven't looked at it too close to any bets I have will be kind of right before the game starts.
Any baseball?
I don't know. I might not bet on anything. I'm going to see the Michael Jackson movie tonight, so I don't know. I don't know how much I'll be watching of any of these games. Yeah, so
I want to hear about it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been waiting to go and able to go tonight, so I'm looking forward to it.
We talked about this off there, didn't we? That we would. That I might even go.
Yeah, no, we definitely talked about it kind of before, and I'm super. I love Michael Jackson, and so I've been really excited about the movie and excited to go see it tonight. So
I love Michael Jackson, the musician, and the music, but I wonder how some of the other stuff is treated.
It's not talked about at all in this movie. This is part 1, so it goes until I don't know what year it cuts off. It cuts off at the Bad tour. And they're having a part 2 in 2028 that I think will cover more of that stuff. But none of any allegations or anything, none of that's talked about in this movie. So it's more on kind of the building of Michael Jackson
from
and his
Jackson 5.
Exactly. So it's a lot of that, a lot of the early years of Michael Jackson, and
I wonder how much it will touch on how just the taskmaster their dad was.
Yeah, no, I think that's a big part of it. I know what I've heard about it so far is that that they kind of dive into that a little bit. I don't know how much I've heard from some people that it's very much just kind of a lot of singing and dancing and kind of.
That's enough, isn't it?
Sure, yeah, and so
what you want to be entertained by.
Exactly, and so I've heard some people wanting it to be a little deeper, but I'm excited tonight. So yeah, I'll definitely give you my review. Once I'm done seeing it tonight.
I'm ready to hear it.
I don't know if I want to have bets out there tonight if I'm stuck in a movie.
When do my Stones get a movie?
That's a good question. They need one. I don't know.
Really do.
I don't know.
And not just the long form serious documentary.
No.
They need the movie.
They need a biopic for sure. And so yeah.
And how would some of that be treated?
It's a good question. I mean, you're seeing biopics kind of all over the place. You had Elvis a couple years ago. They had one on Queen, Bob Dylan, Elton John. So maybe the Stones is coming soon. Maybe.
When do we get the Beatles?
Yeah, that's a good question too. I don't know. It's. I don't know what goes into when you do biopics, but yeah, I'd like to see a Beatles. I'd like to see a Stones. I think there's some really good people you could.
Would you go to Led Zeppelin?
Yeah, sure, I'd go. I don't know if I'd see it in theaters. I'd maybe wait. I'm not as big of a Led Zeppelin fan. I'd maybe wait for that one to come out on.
I am
on streaming or something. Yeah, so that'd be fun. I think you can make a really good biopic about that as well. But we need to wrap up this second hour, get to another break, and when we return, we're talking some NBA, the Grizzlies, the playoffs, the new draft lottery that we could be seeing next year. We do all of that with Rob Fisher next on Sports Time.
Cleanliness is next to impossible unless you call High-Low Commercial Services. For 15 years, High-Low's dedicated team has been cleaning offices throughout the Mid-South. High-Low's janitorial services are customized to your business. Clean once, quarterly, or ongoing, and get the JRD guarantee. We clean until you're satisfied. High-Low Commercial Services, the biggest and the best in the Mid-South. Visit MrCleanTeam.com. That's MrCleanTeam, MrCleanTeam.com for High-Low Commercial Services.
I got him on the line out there in Gossett Volkswagen Germantown. Hey, Marty McNate, what's going on?
I've got some big news. Volkswagen Driver Days is going on at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown.
And I hear you've got some incredible deals happening right now.
You heard right, Randy. I got 2026 Jetta S, $277 a month.
$277 a month for Jetta. Hey, what else you got?
How about 2026 Taos S, $327 a month.
$327 a month for Taos S, and I hear you got a Tiguan deal out of this world.
2026 Tiguan S, $355 a month.
Well, it sounds like you got something for everyone.
Come see me, Marty McNate, at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com. And remember, your future is what you make it.
36 month lease, Jetta SM104-280, MSRP 26,426, Taos SM06162, MSRP 27,011, Jetta TM005137, MSRP 25,820, Taos S TM108,191, MSRP 29,101, Tiguan TM014510, MSRP 32,585, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 895, excludes tax on license with approved credit. See the complete details, offering score 3026, dealer stock only.
Go ahead. Just let your car steer itself to either Sunrise on Jefferson or Sunrise East on Poplar. You know you want to. If it's before 2 o'clock in the afternoon, all you have to do is let yourself surrender to the desire to have some hot, fresh, fast, prepared just for you Sunrise deliciousness. Breakfast, lunch, it doesn't matter. Just head to what you really crave, a little Sunrise. Maybe have a piping hot cup of coffee. Or maybe make yourself a Bloody Mary at the Bloody Mary bar. Just settle in for Sunrise.
Take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant, objective feedback with hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000 square foot facility with 2 NBA regulation-size courts, 3 high school-size courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member at both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis, now in Cordova and Collierville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
Air. We breathe it naturally. Simple, right? Not so fast. The air you breathe could be hazardous to your health. Don't guess. Be sure with a phone call to the Memphis Mold Inspector, the only licensed mold assessor in the Mid-South. Call the Memphis Mold Inspector to check the air quality inside your home and office. Protect babies, pets, new homes, old homes, employees, friends, loved ones, and you. Just call 901-292-7788 for clean air and peace of mind. 901-292-7788 for the Memphis Mold Inspector. This traffic report brought to you by Lauren Tag Hill of Ware Jones Realty. If you're buying a house or selling one and want fast action, contact Lauren Hill at warejones.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's starting to really pick up now, trying to get south of Memphis with that traffic volume and that traffic flow going 55 southbound down into DeSoto County as traffic also increases over here now. 240 east between Poplar and Walnut Grove. Sam Cooper starting to get heavy, especially going outbound, trying to get back up on the interstate. Don't let a slipping transmission make things worse on your car or truck. If you're having transmission problems, come to Amco Transmissions right now with 2 locations here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, with Dave Woloshin, weekday mornings from 10 to 11. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back in Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our third and final hour on this Wednesday afternoon. Joining us now to talk some Grizzlies, talk some NBA, Rob Fisher from the Grizzlies Television Network. He joins us now. Rob, thanks so much for joining us. The NBA playoffs have been a lot of fun. Which series has entertained you the most through round one?
Oh, I guess I would say Detroit Orlando has been entertaining.
Yeah, it's been good.
We've had some close games. We got the upset brewing with the number 8 seed up 3-1 on the number 1 seed. I think that one's been fun to watch, and it's been fun to watch Desmond Bane come back the last couple of games and play the way that he has. I don't know. I mean, the Knicks-Hawks series is close, but it doesn't seem like it's been that entertaining with those two teams. And Boston and Philadelphia, it's also 3-2, but I don't think that's been entertaining as well. I don't think Boston's a fun team to watch.
The struggles that J.B. Bickerstaff and the Pistons are having, I know it's one series, young team, but Rob, isn't this what even those of us that love J.B. Bickerstaff, you're a little scared of him in the playoffs?
Well, Cleveland was.
That's right.
You know, and they made the move, whether you agreed with it or not, and I was one that did not, but I think it's a lot more has to do with what you were just saying. I mean, how we feel about JB. You know, big fans of JB. And
60-win team.
And you know, they let him go, and now Detroit, and it's been weird to watch them and not be able to kind of put your finger on why, because Orlando doesn't play great basketball. You know, they play kind of stupid basketball at times, where it's Paulo Banchero and everybody else, and just kind of lean on him. And you know, they make mistakes. They turn the ball over, but they're somehow winning the series 3-1. You know, we've talked about it. I think that Orlando is a better team than their seed indicates, but they ended up being the seed they are because of the dysfunction among that team. And they seem to, at least for now, have put that stuff aside and are playing better basketball. But, yeah, what's the problem with Detroit? Well, Galen Duran's been a problem. He hasn't been as dominant as he was in the regular season, hasn't been in the playoffs, not even close to what he was in the regular season. Kate Cunningham's turning the ball over like a machine, which has been awful to watch. They're not defending as well as they did. I think that the difference in playoff basketball, you know, Orlando's playing more physical. Well, Detroit's supposed to be the physical team. Detroit's been the team that's been physical all year, but they've been physical when things are called. Now when things aren't called, you know, they're getting hit first, and it's like they're not able to hit back. I find it interesting tonight, you know, being down 3-1 and backs against the wall. Detroit is a double-digit favorite tonight.
It's crazy. I was looking at that just a second ago.
Double-digit favorite for a team that's down 3-1 and has been just flat-out beaten this series.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, for entertainment purposes only. Do you think they cover that tonight?
Well, I can't bet on that.
I know you can't.
So I can't talk about it.
I know you can't.
But that's hard. It's hard to think they would.
Mm-hmm.
With the way that Orlando is playing. I mean, even if Detroit is to come back and win, the thing is, for Detroit tonight, they have to be a different team than they've been these first 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got to change.
Yeah.
And a lot has to change. I don't know if they're capable of making that many changes and the team changing that drastically in just from game 4 to game 5.
Hard to. It really is. Oklahoma City easily 4-0 over Phoenix like they did to the Grizzlies last year. We're just going to be in a run of years. If they're the 1 seed, the 8 has no shot, do they?
Well, they're really good, and they're doing it without Jalen Williams. And, you know, what we've seen with Oklahoma City, and we saw it throughout this year, whether it was Jalen Williams being out with injury or the times that SGA was out with injury, they are so deep that they can still win. They're deep in their backcourt depth. They're deep with their defense. They're deep in their front court depth. I mean, they're deep everywhere. And, yeah, they're a problem. I mean, they're going to be a problem until they have salary issues and guys have to go. And until then, yeah. So, you know, they keep this group around for a while. Yeah, it's going to be tough to knock them off, especially in that first round. And, you know, 12-0 now in the last 3 years in the first round for Oklahoma City. Yeah, I don't see that slowing down anytime soon. And, you know, now it's a matter of moving on and what's going to happen in the next round with Oklahoma City. But I think things obviously get a little tougher than they did last year for OKC. It wasn't a walk in the park for them to get the championship last year. They had some long series after that first-round series. So we'll see if that's the case again this year.
How much coaching does he have to do in Oklahoma City?
Well, I think where he has to get credit is how this team plays with a defensive intensity every night. And even in the regular season. I mean, they play regular season games to crush you. They play regular season games with an intensity defensively that is just hard. I mean, they just come after you from all over the floor. And I think a coach has to get credit for that because, you know, it's easy to not go out there and give it everything defensively on a Tuesday night in February. I mean, you know, in game 60, it's easy not to have that sort of intensity, but they bring it every single night. And I think the coach has to get a little credit for that. So I'd give them credit for the way the team plays and the way that they play consistently on a nightly basis with, you know, a desperation sort of feeling, and they outwork you. You know, we always talk about it with Oklahoma City. The only chance you have is if you work harder than them. But they do a great job of not allowing that to happen.
Who's the next coach that's left in these playoffs that has that defensive prowess and intensity night in, night out?
Well, I'll tell you what, a guy that you got to give some credit to right now is Darko Rajakovic. And the Toronto Raptors. I mean, they've been showing it. I think JJ Redick deserves a little credit for his team rallying together with the guys that have been injured and playing the way that they're playing. You know, Atlanta. You want to say Quinn Snyder, but I think that's been kind of hit or miss in this postseason and in these first 4 games or 5 games of that series of whether or not they show that defensive identity that they had during the regular season. So I don't know if I give Quinn Snyder all that credit in the world, but Minnesota, Chris Finch. Chris Finch is probably one that Minnesota plays with that sort of intensity night in and night.
Yeah, no, I think he absolutely does. And you mentioned Toronto. They're in action tonight on the road in Cleveland against the Cavaliers. The series tied 2-2. What do you think ultimately happens over these next couple of games? Who do you think wins the series?
Well, this series was made for NBA TV, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Just ugly defensive ability, just under 100 points. I don't know. I would think that Cleveland rebounds tonight and they get a win and they go up 3-2. I would think, my guess would be the home team's going to win the rest of the 3 games and Cleveland's going to win the series eventually. But I don't know. I don't know how much I trust Cleveland right now. I don't know, especially with the fact that you have James Harden on that team. You can't ignore James Harden and his ability in the postseason. And, you know, Donovan Mitchell's not playing well. Harden's been okay. So you're not getting the dominating performances from the dominating players that Cleveland has on their roster right now. So in Toronto, you're getting great team play. Everyone's contributing. And Colin Murray-Boyles has been unbelievable in what he's been able to do in the series that he's having so far. So I think that Toronto, could they steal one tonight in Cleveland? Sure. But I don't expect it to happen. I think I would expect Cleveland to get the win tonight, and then Toronto at home in a Game 6 with that place as raucous as that can be at that arena, and the way that they are playing as a team to come back and then win Game 6, send it to a Game 7, and then anything can happen in a Game 7. But I think this one goes the distance, and I wouldn't count Toronto out, but I'd lean towards Cleveland at this point.
The Knicks had to have that last night, and they had to have it with that easy style. They got it in.
Yes, they needed it, and they needed it like that, absolutely. And it's amazing that 2 games ago you're already hearing about Mike Brown maybe being on the hot seat, and it's like, well, what do you want? I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And the Karl Anthony Towns talk about he's got to dominate, and he does need to dominate. He needs to be the guy that's carrying the load. Jalen Brunson needs to be able to find Karl Anthony Towns and make Towns the guy, because that's where they have an advantage in this series. And they did that last night. So the Knicks needed it. They got it. And, I said before the series, I think it was when I was on with Greg and Eli, I said, watch out for the Knicks in this first series against Atlanta. And, Atlanta's giving them problems, but the Knicks got it done, and they got it done in a big way yesterday. Now the pressure's on Atlanta. Can Atlanta handle that pressure, and can they get a win to force a Game 7? Again, like the Cleveland-Toronto series, I'd expect New York to win this game, and it wouldn't surprise me if it goes 7.
Mm-hmm. The last game tonight, Rockets and Lakers, what have you made of this series? The Lakers looking to wrap this one up. They're a 4.5-point favorite at home tonight. Kevin Durant been out with the injury. That certainly made an impact on the Rockets, but what do you make of what you've seen from the Lakers without Luka Doncic on the floor?
It's been great. The Lakers favored tonight for the first time in the series.
Crazy.
This is the first time that they've actually been the favorite, and which is a little surprising. But Houston was favored the first 2 games in Los Angeles. Houston was favored both games at home, but now the Lakers are favored here in game number 5. I've been surprised, even without Kevin Durant, I've been surprised at the lack of defense played by Houston. That's their calling card, especially without having a point guard and without having Kevin Durant and not being a 3-point team. Well, that's a lot you're missing right there. So, you're a mid-range team, you're an in-the-paint team, and they haven't dominated there, and they're not dominating defensively. That's been the surprise for me, is that this is a team that was so good defensively throughout the season. They got a handful of guys who are great defensive players, and they're just not showing it here in this postseason, making Luke Kennard look, like Steph Curry, and making Marcus Smart look like Steph Curry, for crying out loud. So I've been surprised at Houston's inability to defend the way that they show that they can throughout an entire season. I would be surprised if this series doesn't end tonight, because I just don't think they have. I don't think they have that extra oomph to make it happen. They just haven't shown it in the series at all.
And Luke Kennard catching and shooting, not holding the ball and passing or deferring or being hesitant about it. I mean, we had very few Luke Kennard games.
No, you're right, and that's. I mean, it's funny because you heard it when he was in Atlanta from Quinn Snyder. You've heard it from J.J. Redick now in Los Angeles, that they continue to tell Luke, when you get it, let it go, because Luke's biggest fault is getting in situations where he doesn't let it go and doesn't think he has the shot, but he does, and he's the best shooter on the floor, so he's got to take them, and he's taking them now, and he's making them, and he's been fantastic. So yeah, we didn't see it enough, but I don't think anywhere Luke's been you've seen it enough, and it's probably why he's been around the league a little bit, is because you didn't see it enough, and he's not a great defender either. But I watching that series, I think his effort defensively has been very good. And offensively, just letting the shots fly has been great. It was incredible in game, I guess it was game 3, the one that the Rockets blew with the 2 turnovers in the last couple of seconds?
Late.
Was that game? That was game 3. That was the one instance where I thought Luke passed up a shot, but he passed it up to give it to LeBron, who made the 3 to send it to overtime.
Yeah,
so
and the guy did fly.
I'll let him go on that one.
Yeah, I would let him go on that. Yeah, if you pass it to LeBron James, you get a pass. Rob Fisher with us. Rob, in Cam Spencer, it doesn't. Don't the Grizzlies want him to be that? Catch it, shoot it. Don't try to put it on the floor, because I think sometimes he gets a little stuck.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think that Cam early in the season last year, he was doing that. When he got the ball, he let it fly. And, we were all enamored with what Cam Spencer was doing. And he got off to such a great start. I think what hurt Cam was then when he had to got forced into playing point guard. Because then he became a facilitator primarily.
And that used to hurt Kennard, too.
Right. You're right. And when you're a facilitator primarily, and I think Cam is one of those guys, he's like Marc Gasol in that it's always about making the right play. Always about making the right play. And making the right play when you're a facilitator most of the time is giving the ball up. And it also took away his ability to move off the ball and get in open spots so he could get those shots. And then all of a sudden when he was taken and moved off the ball, I think he was kind of stuck in a place of, am I a facilitator? Am I a shooter? What am I? And I think it kind of screwed Cam up throughout the year last year as well. So playing out of position, I think, hurt him. But, yeah, you want him to be that guy, to be like the Luke Kennard. I don't like games where Cam scores 3 points. I don't like games where Cam only shoots 3 3-pointers. I want games where Cam's going to shoot 5 or 6 3-pointers, and I want Cam to score me 13 points. I want him to be a scorer. It's great. And I said this about Luke Kennard when he was with the Grizzlies. Having those games where you have 10 assists, 9 assists, 11 assists, those are great. Great for you. But I don't care about that. I want to see you score points. I want you to be a scorer because that's what you can do when you're shooting the building.
How many shots you think Cam Spencer's gotten up today?
Probably at least 150.
At least. If he's anywhere on earth, he has.
Yep.
Yeah. If he's got a hoop near him, he's put him up today. We had a trip to Indianapolis late in the season playing the Pacers. And we arrived in town and there were tournaments going on, like women, I think high school girls tournament going on at the arena. And, it was a big weekend. The combine was going on and everything. So it was a big weekend in Indianapolis. And we check into the hotel at about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And we went out to dinner. So as we're leaving for dinner, out of the hotel comes Cam Spencer with a bag of baskets. And we're like, where are you going? He's like, going to get some shots up. He got in a cab and to find a gym somewhere so he could go get some shots.
Holy cow. Wow. That is remarkable. But
did you go to the opposite place, or did y'all go to St. Elmo's that night?
We went to the opposite place.
Right next door. You say it's better.
Izzy's there. Yeah. It was good. It's real good. There's more of a menu. The steaks are the same. The shrimp cocktail's the same. And there's more of a menu where it's got your high end stuff, but it also has like some low end sandwiches as well that you can get. So I like it. It's really good. Harry and Izzy's, I think, is that what it's called?
I haven't been, but you say
I think that's what it's called.
You say the tourists go to St. Elmo's.
I like that. Rob, what are your
and all the combine people were there, so we couldn't get a seat.
Yeah,
the tourists.
That's right. Yeah, so all the tourists that are in town. Rob, what do you make of this new lottery idea that Adam Silver is pushing for the NBA?
Brian can't stand it.
I can't stand it.
I can't stand it either. I didn't mind. I don't like confusion. I don't like the idea that they better put out a sheet telling me who's eligible for what every year.
Yeah,
it was very Manfredian, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's complicated. Ooh,
yes, I mean the whole you can't have 3 years in a row. You can't be top 5 or something like that. I mean, there are a lot of stipulations that you're going to have a sheet to figure out who's eligible where and who's getting what odds and what we're supposed. Okay, or if we're in the 7th or 8th spot, would it be better if we're in 9th or 10th because our lottery would be lottery chances are double from being instead of 8? And I mean, if I'm 8 and I lose that first game, and now all of a sudden I'm playing for the 8th seed. Well, if I lose that game, now I'm 9 and my lottery chances double. Or I win that game and I got to play Oklahoma City. So what's the better route?
Well,
and I don't know. I mean, I don't think it'll do away with tanking. I guess teams will try to stay out of the bottom 3. I guess that's what you're saying. The bottom 3 aren't as good of odds. So
there's always going to be a crack in the dam. Teams are going to find a way to manipulate it.
And I've said from the beginning, I don't know what the solution. I don't. I don't know what the right thing to do is. I don't. But I don't know. This one just seems a little confusing and a little too much thinking put into this one.
Yeah. We started the show with this hard one. I threw it at Bryant and at Landon. Rank of the better or worse ideas, these 3 ideas that are out there right now in sports. The redone lottery proposal by the NBA, 24-team college football playoff, and 76 teams in the NCAA basketball tournament.
I guess I like the football playoff expansion.
That's unanimous. That's 4 of us, and I'm very much for it.
It's more football. It's more. I think that those first games will be entertaining, and the second round games will be entertaining, and maybe
you
the
mean
third
the
round
zany
won't be as
9 versus 24 game, and the 10 versus 23.
Yeah. I think that'll be. Now the thing that I don't understand, I don't understand when you expand the tournament to 76 teams, yet you're going to have games to see who the 11 seed is. Mm-hmm. Well, if you're an 11 seed, shouldn't you be an 11 seed?
Yeah.
I mean, should you?
But you aren't now. You're going to Dayton now as an 11.
I understand, and I think that's stupid. I mean,
I
to me,
too.
Dayton should have been the 4-16 seed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it should be for the teams that are not in the tournament, and to get into the tournament, it should be the 4-16. But we're making it. I mean, if you're an 11 seed, you should be an 11 seed. You shouldn't have to play your way into the tournament. 11 seed's not that bad of a seed. I mean, it's not terrible.
No.
So I don't know. I think that's ridiculous too. But I'd go basketball second and the lottery third.
I think I had it the other way, but they were pretty much on the same path. It was not a fun afternoon for me yesterday, Rob, when I learned about both the NCAA tournament and the lottery. I was pretty upset with both of those, but I don't know. Hopefully we're wrong about it, and these people in charge know what they're doing. But Rob, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your week. We'll do it again next Wednesday.
Sounds good, fellas.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you, Rob, so much. Thank you.
Rob Fisher joining us to talk all things hoops, and a lot to talk about with the NBA, with the playoffs, with the Grizzlies, with this new lottery format that pretty much everybody is expecting will go through and will start next season. But he mentioned it, those 3 games tonight, the Magic, Pistons, Detroit, right now a 10.5-point favorite at home despite being down 3-1. Raptors, Cavs, it's crazy. I could not believe it when I saw that. Cavaliers a 9.5-point favorite at home with that series tied 2 apiece. And then the Lakers finally favored in a game, a 4.5-point favorite tonight against the Rockets. Those last 2 games going to be on ESPN. That first game starting at 6 o'clock on Prime Video. But let's go ahead and get to another break. And when we return, we'll talk about what's trending.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Watch and listen every day at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, there's some things about the Rendezvous I want to talk about. For example, we make it really easy to park. We have valet parking right at Monroe Street in our alley. We also want to make it easy for people to get to-go orders. You can now park in our alley right at our front door and put your flashers on. People also forget that we take reservations for 6 or more. And we have a wonderful party room upstairs that can accommodate people for rehearsal dinners, birthday parties, reunions, graduations. Our rooms seat between 25 and 200 175 people, and everything at the Rendezvous can be packed to go. Brett, we also do catering. See our menu online, and we can even deliver for groups of 15 or more. So if you have any questions, always feel free to call us at the Rendezvous because we answer our phone ourselves. You'll never hear, please listen carefully for our menu has changed. Press 1 for reservations, press 2 for hours, press 3 for catering, or if you know your party's 9-digit extension number and the first 3 letters of their mother's maiden name, dial it now. Come see us at the Rendezvous.
Since 1948, the Rendezvous.
Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis has serious vans for serious work. At 4430 American Way, they are the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet? New or used, they've got it with fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter Van headquarters, 901-237-9302 or sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road.
Hey everybody, are you ready to see the USA in a new All-Star Chevrolet this summer? Well, Olive Branch has it all right here in one place. The new Traverse, Tahoe, and Suburban with third row seating here in Olive Branch. New Silverados with April deals that add up to thousands in savings and financing as low as 1.9. So you could go big with a new HD Silverado and make no payments for 90 days because your good credit deserves it. Military, first responders, you get an extra $500 bonus. And nobody beats All-Star Chevy certified and pre-owned selections. Every commercial Chevy truck and cargo van you want is ready to get the work done for you and your business today. And don't forget about all the certified and pre-owned Tahoes, Trailblazers, Silverados, Equinoxes, and yes, Corvettes. And if you have any vehicle you want to sell, bring it here to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch and get the most money for it today. Together, let's drive. Don't miss the work or vacation event going on right now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet or go to allstarautogroup.com.
This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors. I'm often called Shell Done because I sell homes and work with buyers and I get the job done. There are 7 keys to successfully selling your home quickly at a great price. First, call me. I do my research and advise you on preparation, presentation, and proper pricing that gets you the activity to get the best price. Follow my advice and it can happen. I did mention 7 keys to a successful sale, didn't I? Well, if you use the first key, calling or emailing me, you really don't need the next 6 keys. Remember, that's Sheldon Rosengarten at 483-0546 or MemphisRelocate.com. If you don't need me now, write it down for later or for a friend. That's Sheldon at 483-0546 at MemphisRelocate.com. Do it now, and who knows, you may hear your home advertised here. Remember, as bad a golfer as I am, when selling homes, Shell Done gets it done.
This traffic brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon, T-Knox mopping up a couple of wrecks out here. It's starting to pick up right on Schedule 40 East here at Sycamore View Road, pushing on out past Germantown Parkway. Steady flow. Traffic continues out into Fayette County. Busy, but moving to the south on 55 down through parts of DeSoto County. We've had to deal with some radar down through there south of Memphis. That was a little bit earlier. Hey, don't let a slipping transmission make things worse in your car or truck. If you're having transmission problems, you know what to do. Bring it to Amco Transmissions right now with 2 locations here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we've got about 30 minutes left in today's show. We got to talk about what's trending, but before we talk about what's trending around the sports world, we got to give away some tickets. Zach Bryan is performing Saturday night in Starkville at Davis Wade Stadium. I know you've been hearing the ads for that concert over the last couple of weeks. A big-time show down there in Starkville. We have a pair of tickets to give away. We'll go first caller to the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line, 901-360-8255. Again, 901-360-8255. First caller going to see Zach Bryan this weekend at Davis Wade Stadium. I wish I could be going to see Zach Bryan this weekend. Thought about it, was trying to be able to go down there, but unfortunately have a conflict that night. But it's going to be a good show, so call in and first caller will get those tickets to the concert this weekend.
Be a lot of people at that.
Yeah, no, there definitely will be. It's going to be a good time. I know he's in the middle of his tour right now, and it seems like it's been a lot of fun. I've seen some videos and things from it, so it seems like it's a good time at his shows.
Hit us up, 901-360-8255 at the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line if you want to go.
Yeah, no, it should be a lot of fun. I want to talk some mock drafts. Mock drafts coming out over the last couple of days as we were talking some NBA. Jeremy Woo over at ESPN put out his mock draft, his latest mock draft yesterday. He has the Grizzlies selecting Keaton Wagler at number 6, Hans Steinbeck at 16, and with that final pick, Tyler Tanner from Vanderbilt. And then our friend DeMichael Cole put together his own mock draft for the Grizzlies. He has the Grizzlies taking Keaton Wagler at number 6, Cameron Carr at number 16, and then Terrace Reed at number 32. So a couple mock drafts over the last couple of days with the Memphis Grizzlies.
Were those both of those mocks? Tell me, was Acuff gone in both of them?
Well, so for DeMichael, he just put the Grizzlies pick, so I can't tell you about that. I can just tell you, well, actually, I can. His first paragraph, I don't know if this says it or not, I haven't read it. Sacramento Kings are projected to select 5th after losing De'Aaron Fox a little over a year ago. They addressed their point guard need by selecting Arkansas's Darius Acuff. So he has Darius Acuff going number 5, and then ESPN also has Darius Acuff going number 5 to Sacramento. So they are in they agree on that. There'll be Darius Acuff 5 and then Keaton Wagler number 6. So
yeah, I'm fine with that if Acuff's gone.
Yeah.
But if Acuff's available, that's who I want. And I want a point guard unless you're 1, 2, or 3.
Sure.
If you're 1, 2, or 3, number 1, I want DeBanson. 2, I want Boozer, and 3, Peterson.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's it definitely changes if you get in that top 3. Obviously, those 3 that you just named, they've separated themselves as kind of that top group. But
is Love 4?
I would say I'd put Caleb Wilson 4. And so yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry, from North Carolina.
Yeah, Caleb Wilson.
That's who I mean. That's who I meant.
No, you're
I'm sorry.
I would put him 4, but I mean, I don't know if there would be a conversation there if you're 4 and you really want Darius Acuff, do you take him 4 and address that point guard need, or do you go with Caleb Wilson, who's more of kind of that forward, and would be a really good player, I think, at the next level. So, I mean, it feels like that top 3, maybe even top 4 is kind of its own separate category. But then once you get kind of 5 through 8 or 9, it feels like you've got 4 really good point guards there.
Right on the point guards.
Yeah, and it feels like we're going to get just that. I would be fine with any of the 4. I think
point guard, bigger player, offense with those 3 picks. If you're not in the top 3 or 4.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you see a kind of a big guy or more of a forward with that second pick that you really like, then I think, go get him. But I really think the Grizzlies are in a spot right now where it's best available. So, I think if you see a guard, that's more of kind of a shooter, more of a 2 or a 3 with that second pick, I think you just got to go ahead and take them. And then, who knows what they do with that third pick in the second round. I really love the idea of Terrace Reed, bringing in a real rebounder that can kind of be that backup, big man off the bench. I would really like that. And I know that's what DeMichael Cole has at number 32. Tyler Tanner, I think a good player. Do the Grizzlies really need to go out there and take another point guard with that second round pick? A very small guy. I'd probably pass on Tanner. I'd certainly like Reed over Tanner if both those guys are available.
Ping pong ball night, getting here fast.
Yeah.
Week from Sunday night.
Yeah, no, it's quick. An afternoon lottery, and so
week from Sunday afternoon, getting everything quicker.
That's right. Yeah, so we'll know really soon where the Grizzlies will be picking. But so for you, the 4 point guards: Acuff, Wagler, Flemings, and Brown. How would you rank those 4?
That order, right there.
Okay. Okay, I really don't care out of the four. I'd be happy with any of them. I think
I just went Tankathon and had and simulated the lottery. Atlanta winning it, taking Darren Peterson.
Wow.
They this time next year they could really be improved and going deeper in playoffs. Devansa 2, Boozer 3, Caleb Wilson 4 to the Grizzlies.
Yeah. Wow. So I mean, I think if the Grizzlies are there at 4. I think you probably take Caleb Wilson. It feels like those 4 are kind of separate from the rest. But with the point guards, I personally think I have kind of Flemings, Wagler battling it out at number 1 for me, and then Acuff behind him, behind them, and then Mikal Brown. Even though I really love Mikal Brown, but it's just kind of he's just the one that has to fall into that 4 spot, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think the earliest Acuff would go would be 5 to someone.
Yeah, it feels like those top 4 are pretty set. Whatever order it comes in, those top 4 names are going to come off the board unless you see teams. A lot will be dictated on what happens at the combine with Peterson. If his medicals come back and they are weird or something happens there, maybe you see him fall out of that top 4. But any mock draft you look at, it is in some order. AJ, Darren, Cam Boozer, and then Caleb Wilson at number 4.
Hans Steinbach going 13th in this simulated to Miami. The second pick for the Grizzlies, 16, Koa Pete, and then with that 32, and I've liked this, Malik Thomas.
Yeah, that would be really good, and Malik is one of those guys that he has the option to return to Arkansas. So obviously he's going to go through the combine and get some feedback from the scouts, and then ultimately make his decision. So if he's there, if he stays in the draft, would love to see Malik Thomas as a Grizzlies pick. And Koa Pete, if Koa Pete's the pick with the second pick for the Grizzlies, I'd really like that. I think that's a guy that can be a really good NBA player.
Krivas, the Arizona big man, he's announced he's going back to college.
Yeah, he's going back to Arizona.
So they have him in the draft here at 27.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so and we've talked about that before with Tankathon. They're kind of slow to update their site and make the changes. I feel like if you're in the business of draft, when it's the week everyone's deciding, I feel like you need to be on top of that. But I guess Tankathon they don't subscribe to that. Speaking of guys making their decision out of college to either stay in the draft or go back to college, did you see the decision by the top recruit last night making his decision to go to Kansas?
I did, and before I saw the whole performance, I read the ESPN.com story about the announcement.
Okay.
And look, everybody's out there trying to make their way in this, doing this, but I don't even remember who the author of the story was or if there was a byline on it. But it read very much old days, like, player had to just here's the story. He got offered more.
Yeah, and it's
but it almost made like it was he had really got down to which campus. It didn't say that, but it was written very much old way of deciding on your college choice when we know there's one way that most of them are deciding on where to go.
Oh, yeah, and it was very much shown last night with that decision. Tyron Stokes making the decision to pick Kansas over Kentucky, and it was wild. I mean, just watching it, and good for him. He's making all this money. He's already got deals with brands and different things like that. But he's got a Panini box. He's handing out kind of one-of-a-kind trading cards to all the guys at the desk.
Yeah, I'm sure Shaq could keep that close by.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He pulls out a 2K video game case that has him on the cover like he's the kind of cover athlete on the video game in a Kansas jersey.
Here's the story. And you tell me, this is written very 1992, isn't it?
Okay.
And it's by Jeff Borzello and Paul Biancardi. I don't want to crack on them. I really don't. But here's the story. Tyron Stokes, the number 1 senior in the country and the consensus favorite to be the number 1 pick in the 2027 draft, will play for Kansas next season, he announced on Tuesday. Really benign announcement, right? Stokes chose the Jayhawks over Kentucky, announcing his decision on ESPN NBA tip-off before the start of Tuesday playoff games. He is ranked number 1 on ESPN's 2026 SC Next 100. Kansas and Kentucky waged an intense recruiting battle for Stokes' commitment, going back and forth over the last several months. The Wildcats seemed to be the clear leader in the fall, but when the early signing period came and went without a commitment from Stokes, Kansas surged and appeared to be the favorite as the college season progressed. There's more to it than that. Kansas didn't surge. They made a bigger offer.
Yeah, no, they definitely did. It was weird. I mean, I was the whole time watching it last night, I was thinking, if you showed this commitment to somebody that was in like a 10-year coma and just all of the, talk about providing for his family, already providing for his family. It's like, this kid's in high school. He's got the sponsorships out there that he was using for his commitment. It was wild to watch last night.
Here's another line. It says, but Kansas was able to hold off the late push from Mark Pope's proud Kentucky program.
Yeah.
It wasn't any late push.
Yeah.
It was a big offer.
That's right. Yeah, no, the money certainly played a role, but it was.
How much?
It was big. I don't know how much he's ultimately going to make from Kansas, but they made a strong offer. I mean, everything you just
Kansas
said was,
wasn't too burned by Darren Peterson.
No.
Dramatics, was
certainly not. I mean, they might get more dramatics with Tyron Stokes, but I guess they're built for it and they've got the money for it. And even people saying that he might not want to go to Kansas because they're an Adidas brand and he only likes Nike. So it was a weird recruitment process.
Will he be able to wear whatever he wants, or does he have to wear whatever?
I couldn't tell you. I have no
idea. Everybody else would wear.
I'm sure he's figured something. They figured out something where he can wear his Nike and Adidas would be fine by it. I have no idea.
If you're ready to see the country this summer on a big road trip, started at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. They have all the great vehicles for that road trip. The new Traverse, the Tahoe, a Suburban with third-row seating, new Silverados with April deals that add up to thousands in savings, financing as low as 1.9. Go big with a new HD Silverado and make no payment for 90 days. Your good credit deserves it, and you'll get it from Drew DePriest and his team at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. Military first responders, you always get that instant extra $500 bonus and a heartfelt thank you. Nobody beats All-Star Chevy certified in pre-owned selection. Every commercial Chevy truck and cargo van you can imagine is right there ready to go to work for you and your hard-earned, hard-working business that you're in. And all the certified are pre-owned Tahoes, Trailblazers, Silverados, Equinox, and Corvettes, all right there off Highway 78 at Take Kraft Goodman Road, and you're there in Olive Branch. If you have any vehicle you want to sell, bring it to All-Star, get the most money back on it first thing tomorrow morning. Don't miss the work or vacation event going on now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. For more information, you can always go to allstarautogroup.com.
Let's get to our final break of the day. When we return, we'll wrap up today's show with Moe's Crunch Time.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Here's something you don't see every day. It's a full-on brawl at Family Leisure. Oh, yeah. There's a battle of the brands happening right now through May the 10th with 7 different manufacturers all fighting it out for your business. Listen to this opening blow. Hot tubs starting at $34.99. Ouch! Then followed up with a mean right hook of swim spas starting at $16,999. That's a starting price. There are so many deals right now at Family Leisure, and the prices are just too low for me to even mention on the radio. One thing I can tell you, if you stop by Family Leisure and tell them you heard this on the radio, you're going to get a free cover lift with your spa purchase. But you better hurry in before all these great deals get knocked out. Technically, this is called the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Expo, but we're calling it the Battle of the Brands, happening now through May 10th at Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, where family and fun come together.
Napa Cafe celebrates 28 years in 2026.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. If you are a first-time guest or have dined with us countless times, I want to thank you for making us part of your lives. Whether you're celebrating with the crowd or planning a cozy date night on the town, Napa Cafe can provide you an extraordinary evening. We have 5 dining rooms, including our private wine cellar, our Jan's room for 2 guests, and the Eleanor room for parties up to 60. Sit back, relax, and celebrate. Leave the cooking to us. Come see me at Napa Cafe, 5101 Sanderlin Avenue. We're open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. We also offer curbside pickup from our full menu. For details on our stay-in, dine-out menu or reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. We can't wait to serve you.
Come join in and celebrate 28 years of Napa Cafe in 2026.
The best I-dos start with Sissy's Blue. Discover bridal jewelry worthy of your big day at Sissy's Log Cabin, along with our spectacular experience that comes with our promise of exceptional quality, service, and brilliant natural diamonds. Experience our expansive selection when you stop by any of our 7 locations or shop online at sissyslogcabin.com. Find your perfect engagement ring only at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
I got him on the line out there in Gossip Volkswagen Germantown. Hey, Marty McNate, what's going on?
I've got some big news. Volkswagen Driver Days is going on at Gossip Volkswagen Germantown.
And I hear you've got some incredible deals happening right now.
You heard right, Randy. I got 2026 Jetta S, $277 a month.
$277 a month for Jetta. Hey, what else you got?
How about 2026 Taos S, $327 a month.
$327 a month for Taos S, and I hear you got a Tiguan deal out of this world.
2026 Tiguan S, $355 a month.
Well, it sounds like you got something for everyone.
Come see me, Marty McNate, at Gossip Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at gossipvwg.com. And remember, your future is what you make it.
36 month lease, Jetta S at 104,280, MSRP 26,426, Taos SMO 6162, MSRP 27,011, Jetta TMW 5137, MSRP 25,820, Taos S TM 108,191, MSRP 29,101, Tiguan TMO 14510, MSRP 32,585, includes all rebate incentives, SPF 895, excludes high capital license with approved credit. See the complete details. Offering score 3026, deemed stock only.
Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening is coming to the Graceland Soundstage. Saturday, May 9th at 8 p.m. Jason's thunderous drumming recalls one of the greatest to ever sit behind the skins, his late father, John Bonham of Led Zeppelin. This is as close as you will ever get to letting the lead out live. Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Evening. Get your tickets today at GracelandLive.com.
Hi, I'm Parker Trotz with NST Injury Attorneys. For over 35 years, we've fought for Memphis families and won big. If you've been injured, the call is free, and you don't pay unless you win. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! This game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight?
This is for all the biggest Crunch Time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that?
Crunch time between the hedges.
The ball game is over, and Memphis has its first win in 16 tries. Its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival Tennessee.
Goodbye!
It's obviously Crunch Time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need catering? Moe's Taco Truck is always ready to cater for you. Just give Jenny Nash a call, 901-606-3172. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies. Well, what I learned today, I learned it over the last couple of hours. It's that George Pickens has officially signed his franchise tag. We talked about it a little bit yesterday with Bo Marchant. It was reported day one of the NFL draft, so last Thursday, that he was going to sign the franchise tag. And when that was reported early in the afternoon, it made a lot of people think that he would be traded later that night during the first round of the NFL draft. Well, nothing was really reported after that he didn't sign it, but then the next morning it was reported that he still hasn't signed the franchise tag, and then more reporting that the Cowboys would not trade him. The draft came and went. Now George Pickens has officially signed his franchise tag. We know he's not happy with the franchise tag. He prefers a long-term contract. The Cowboys prefer to not trade him, so while he has signed the franchise tag, it's, I guess, a good thing for the Cowboys to have him signed that, but now with that being signed, they can officially trade him, so everything might look good, they might be saying the right things, but we'll see. Until I see him on the field week one with the Dallas Cowboys, I'm not confident he will be a Cowboys throughout the season.
Yeah, he's already been in a couple different places, hasn't he?
Yeah, no, that's right. It's and we talked about, Bo knows him really well with his time in Pittsburgh. The off the field, the kind of wanting this and that, it can become much with him.
What I learned today, count me out on the Michael Jordan, LeBron James greatest ever debate. Count me out. I care, but I don't care enough to weigh in and maybe have to run one down to build up the other one, and you almost always get down to that in GOAT, greatest ever, Mount Rushmore, all that. Just give me Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and y'all can take all the arguments you want to TikTok and argue away at the Insta all you want.
I like
Count me out.
That's a good way to do it. Just take the other all-time great and say, y'all have y'all's fun with the other two. What I could have done without, well, it is this Magic and Pistons series. It's been fun. It's been fun to watch the Magic and the way that they've played this series, but with the Detroit Pistons for the last really year and year plus with what they did last year, turning it around after 3 years ago, that really rough start, the long losing streak, to turn into kind of this plucky underdog and a team that the entire league can kind of get behind and root for. Well, now things are changing as they're the number one seed, down 3-1. I really hate that Jalen Duren just hasn't stepped up to the task so far. You see any of these highlight shows or anybody talking NBA, when they talk Detroit, they talk Jalen Duren. I think ultimately, no matter what happens in this first round, whether it ends tonight, whether it ends in a couple days, whether Detroit turns around and comes back from this, I think this is still going to be good for Detroit to get this experience, see what it looks like to be on the losing end, because they've got a young core that they can build with, but the hope is that they can grow from this and this doesn't just ruin everything they've built over the last couple of years.
But you better grow fast. You better cash it in fast, because we know that window closes faster than you can ever believe that it will. What I could have done without whenever that first coach that whines they're not in a 76-team NCAA tournament. If you're not in, you're in a bogus conference that nobody really gives a rip about, and you didn't win enough. I can hear Josh Pastner whining now, but he can moan and groan all he wants, and he can with the best of them. Do enough, and you'll be in.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of coaches, it's going to help them for when they're in this expanded field. But for the other coaches, oh boy, it is not going to mean anything good if you're missing a 76-team field. I kind of like what you said earlier about, hey, if you're in the SEC, if you miss it 3 years in a row, there's no excuse for that.
Don't ask any questions.
I mean, you've got to be one of the top 76
Just clean
teams.
everything out.
I'm not opposed to that
and
at
no
all.
payout.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Where are you beaming tonight?
Beam me too. Motown pulling hard for J.B. Bickerstaff and Jalen Duren, and the Pistons against Orlando. As must win as it gets when you're facing elimination for a 60-win team.
Yeah, beam me to the last game tonight. Rockets and Lakers. We'll see if the Lakers can close it out or if we see some fire behind this Rockets team.
Cardinals going for 3 straight right now in Pittsburgh against righty for the Pirates, Bubba Chandler. Yeah. He sounds like somebody from Lawrenceville, Georgia, doesn't he?
He absolutely does.
Well, he is.
That's right.
3rd-round pick in 2021, 21-9 Braves at home at Truist versus Scuba and the Tigers. 3 Stanley Cup games tonight, and my Flyers can close out Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we talked about all the baseball action during the day. Still a lot coming later tonight. 3 basketball games, 3 NHL games, so a lot to keep an eye on tonight. But that's all the time we have. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon.
It's golf time. What's my first thought? Miramichi, of course, Miramichi. Sometimes you need just to escape the hustle and bustle of life, and that's exactly what Miramichi will provide. It means the place of happy retreat, and I promise you, it lives up to its name. While it might not be in the heart of Shelby County, it's certainly worth the drive. It's 25 minutes from my driveway in East Memphis. Once you arrive at the front door, you know you're going to get an experience unlike any other public golf course in town. Let's start with practice facilities. Not all are created equal, and you will